Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Trading on margin, utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
There's a couple little things right now. It's not necessarily showing every single AIRO alert right now, but it's great. As far as speed to get to different charts, in different time frames, it's obviously pretty amazing. So
Yes, yes.
just got to
Well,
work out a couple kinks, and then everybody will have it.
yes, exactly. I'm going to make sure I got all my alerts on. Make sure I got everything on here. So let me go indicator list. So guys, so as you can see, I've kind of updated my screen. I'm just making sure I have everything desktop alert. Okay, good. So I can get those notifications, make sure everything's kosher. So everybody, just also a little bit of housekeeping. I'm not going to be able to see any questions in the chat while I'm talking and sharing my screen. So if you do have a question that you want us to address, either on the call or, typing it to you, please put it in the Q&A because I'm not going to be monitoring the chat. All right. Well, CB's here and he probably could catch it, but just to make sure that we catch everything, put it in the Q&A, please.
Yep.
And also, I'm sorry, CB, were you about to say something?
Oh, I'm just agreeing with you. I am watching the chat too, but yeah, it'd be a lot easier to manage everything if you have a specific question you want answered live to put it in the Q&A section.
Absolutely. And then when you are in a Q&A and you want us to look at something, please put the currency pair and the time frame, and then tell me what strategy are you looking at. So don't just tell me, hey, Jackie, GBP, USD, N15. Okay. What are we looking at? Is it an uptrend? Is it a downtrend? What strategy are you looking for? Kind of thing. Okay. Only because that would save us time. So that way, if it is a viable trade, we could just jump on it. Okay. So I just want to make sure that I throw that out there. So let's go here, people. Now, as we can see, I have all my pairs up that I listed for everybody. All right. I even have my pair that I don't like, Euro USD, but I'm throwing it on here anyway because it's a USD pair. But I want to do a little bit of while we're waiting for the setups. This is what we're doing. You see, I got my fractals on. Okay. I put them on there because I'm tired of just looking for the 3 candles and just finding a fractal, even though this looks like this is getting ready to turn into a fractal. I'm tired of doing that. So I just threw the indicator on there so that it'll just do it for me. I have my Fibonacci lines here. You see that? I did that for a very good reason. I'm trying to monitor everything. So everything that's on my chart is AIRO. I drew my Fibonacci lines based off of the H1, following the trend of the H1 time frame. Okay. I also have the 200 EMA on here. Okay. I also have marked off the money zone from the previous day. You see this little blue number over here on the side? If I'll scroll over a little bit, you guys see that? That's actually a blue horizontal line that's marking off the low of the money zone of the previous day. I'm on Aussie CAD right now. I'm telling you guys this because this is how I marked up my charts yesterday so that I know what I'm looking for today. I'm looking for money zone breakouts. Just because London session had a lot of breakouts doesn't necessarily mean all pairs did. Aussie CAD, it's on, and this is how I marked off. Money zone. The reason why I'm talking about strategy 4 is because I'm already looking at it for the indices today, which is going to be happening in about 15 minutes. All right. So I said, well, fine, let's look at money zone for all the pairs that we're going to do for US session and see if we have breakouts. Okay. So to mark it up for the money zone, you're going to zoom all the way out. I'm on the M15. All right, currency pairs. You're on a downtrend on the M15 for Aussie CAD, right? I don't need to mark off the top of the money zone, we're going to follow the trend. You mark off the bottom. So, okay, downtrend, zoom in, mark off the bottom of the previous day's money zone. The strategy teaches you to take the trade in the direction of the trend on the first candle that breaks below the money zone in the new money zone. So today, okay? So what I'm looking for Aussie CAD for a money zone breakout, as you can see, it actually happened right here, right? But then it got stopped and then it came back up, and that wasn't even 20 pips here. It was not 20 pips. So what happened? It pulled back and it came back up again. What am I looking for now? I'm looking for it to break down again and continue to follow the trend. Why? Why did price come down here, stop, and then go back up? Look at that 200 EMA. I've been saying it. That 200 EMA is like a magnet. It will pull price to it and then retest and then come back down again. I've seen it happen multiple times. It's pulling price back up. It might even touch it and then turn around and go back down again. Doing what? Giving us another down arrow as well as a bag entry. So wouldn't that be cool? You get a bounce off of this resistance zone, which is over at this 200 EMA being a magnet, turn around and come back down. Look at this alert, GCAD buy. Okay, I'm going to jump over to GCAD. See, look at that. What is this, you guys?
A bank induction.
Bank induction.
Your counter trend into the wick, into the zone.
Exactly. Counter trend into the wick, into the zone. Guess what? I'm taking it. Yep, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a bank induction. I'm taking it. Why? Counter trend into the zone. How you know it's a counter trend? Zoom out. More resistance than green. It's a support. We're on a downtrend on the M15. I got AIRO coming in, and this is strategy 10. What did he tell you? You take the trade on the next candle. That's what I'm doing. Let me change my take prop here. Sell. 20 pips is what I'm going for. Move it down. Pay my broker. There.
Pay the broker.
20 pips, 40 pips, 20 pips take profit, 40 pips stop loss. 40 pips. Shoot, 40 pips is all past this zone right here.
Way the heck up there.
It ain't coming up here, you guys. Not on no downtrend. Boom. You see that? Now, remember I was talking about that? Hi, Matt, by the way, darling.
Hi. We've got a couple questions real quick here.
Oh, sure.
Couple of the people in the call want to know how you add your wonderful 200 EMA, the bank EMA. How do you do that?
Oh, insert. Indicate. Oop, get out of here, you guys. Insert. Indicators. Okay, click on indicators. MA is a trend indicator. So you go to trend, moving average, click on it. Your period is 200, no shift. Moving average method is exponential. You apply it to the close, put whatever color you want, however way you want the line to be in your bar, hit OK. That's all you need to do.
Well, that was simple. Look at that. That's not rocket science. Another question for you real quick, though. Just as you already entered, right? Yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool. So can you explain fractals in a very elementary way? Just so that people have an idea of like what they represent and why they can be a really nice addition to their trading repertoire.
Cool. Yeah. This is, by the way, I learned fractals from Bobby Will from Pipology. Shout out to him. And the easiest way I could tell you what it resonates for me is fractals just indicate a change in price direction. Doesn't necessarily mean that price is going to continue in that way. It just means price has stopped and decided to go another way. Doesn't matter how long. But what happens is fractals are created when you have 3 candles. So I'm going to come down out of that zone so you can see. This actually had 2 fractals happen at the same time. But here we go. 1, 2, 3. these 3 candles, the highest high out of the 3, the middle candle is a fractal. And here's 1, 2, 3. The lowest low out of those 3 candles in the middle is the fractal. And it just signifies up, you went high, and then you're going to come down. There, it went down. Then it turned around and said, nope, we're going to go back up. You go back up. Okay, that's really what a fractal does. It signifies a change in price direction. And the way to get the fractal on your chart is also a free indicator. It's insert indicators, Bill Williams, fractals. Okay, you just click on it and you're going to be able to pick what color you want and whatever. Make sure that you want it to be on all time frames. This is selected. Same thing for the moving average. And then hit OK and they'll appear. The best thing about it, oh, look at that, trying to be all slick with the move here. That's fine.
I see that. That went up pretty high.
It did. You know what? I like this one still.
I was thinking we were going to get a fractal there, Jackie.
I thought we were too.
That's what I was hoping for, Matt.
I was waiting for that fractal. I said, well, we're talking about fractals. We might get one here. But now that fractals would be potentially invalid. Because now the fractal would be on the next one if it turns around.
Yeah. I'm thinking, and just in looking in that, I was hoping that it would be a fractal too. And hopefully it doesn't break this zone. But I like this one also because it's below the low of a previous day, money zone. So technically, once this closes below this thing, if it turns around and then closes below the MA, that's really considered a strategy for a breakout again. So that's why I was liking this one, giving me a sell. So it's pretty getting strong here though, close to market open. So we'll see how it goes. But that
this could be that
200
turnaround time, right? That could be that good old turnaround time, that pre-market pullback.
Yeah. And then look at that 200 bringing it up there, acting like a magnet. Don't bring it up too high. But yeah, that's how fractals are. And they're really powerful when they come off of a zone, like what CB was saying. This is what we were talking about last week. So and it is something that Nate's looking at possibly being another strategy. Oh yeah, that zone's gone. As being another possible strategy. Yeah, this is a pre-market move here, maybe. It might pull all the way back here and turn around.
We got another 9 minutes before session opens, right? So
yep, another 9 minutes.
I'm thinking, based on what I've seen, this is a retracement. This is a pullback to scare the snot out of people. But yeah. I mean, right now she's not looking super great.
No. I will say if that zone looks like it's about to break, if that thing doesn't come back down and it breaks the zone, I'm probably gonna just sit. I'll sit and see. Only because I see that this might be a fake out, like you said. Plus, I'm going to trust the process. This doesn't count as a strategy 6 trade, which would be a counter trade into counter trade between 8 and 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Time now. It wouldn't be counted as that because it was already going into the zone. So this technically does fit the criteria of a bank induction. So that's why I'm going to just leave it as is there. But we'll see. If it breaks that zone here in 8 minutes and that zone disappears and it doesn't start to form a fractal, then I might hop out, save me some money and wait for a better time.
Yeah, I'm going to see what the retracement is on that move from I've got a potential bounce point at 1.7336.
336. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's real close to the zone.
Yeah, 336. That would be, I've got it marked as like a weekly low.
Okay.
Like going back in time, like a really, oh, you know what? Okay.
Oh, we'll leave. You see something?
Well, I'll just be honest with what I see on this case. I could see this as potentially trying to scare people out. I actually see it more of a downtrend. If you wanted me to show you on the 30-minute, the 30-minute, it's still in a downtrend. It still didn't break the 62 exponential moving average.
Mm-hmm. Did you want to share your screen?
Yeah, just for a minute.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead.
Just for a minute, I'll show you guys just
build some faith in this trade, Matt.
Well, let's try. Okay, we're not gonna make no promises, but
nope.
What we got here potentially. See, this is where our downtrend is on the 30-minute.
Yeah.
Okay, we're at the downtrend. One of my indicators is saying this is like a big pullback, saying that this could be a potentially big pullback right here. And then we have just that big hook here of that moving average is interesting. When I went down to the 5, I was just looking for that weekly low line that I drew. I drew that way the heck back. Price likes to return to those levels because there's a monthly low down here. Just trying to see of what. Actually, let's see if we can get something here. No, I see it would have broken that wedge here. It broke that wedge.
Oh, okay.
Right. It broke that wedge. It broke that wedge down, and then it broke it kind of on its way up. This is going to be interesting and fun. So we're getting that candle, that 5-minute candle here. That next 5-minute candle is actually in the direction we want. So that was a really big boot pump. Like that was a huge candle. So what was that, like 30 pips on a 5-minute candle?
Was it
20? 15.
Big move.
Yeah.
Well, so we will keep an eye on that for sure. I know that. That was the only pop-up I've had so far, though.
Yeah, really? The only real tradable one thus far?
Yeah, that was the only alert that we've had so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open up the other version of AIRO. I stopped sharing my screen just so you could go over, but right now, I mean, I like the idea of taking that bank induction. You know,
yeah.
if it's there, why not take it?
Right.
But if you're brand new, guys, just take the trades that are simpler. Bank induction is not a simple trade, right? And I don't actually have the numbers and percentage win rate on bank induction. This is just another type of trade that you can take. If you've just been trading this system for a couple weeks even, or a couple days, especially, stick down to the bag. Don't try to go skip a couple steps.
There it is on the H1. I just needed to move my fib down a little bit.
Higher up.
So I'm cool with that. There's that. Okay. Oh, let me check the Q&A.
Yeah, we got a couple questions there.
Somebody asked if I'm on the East Coast. Yes. And my money zone 8 to 2. Yes. Yeah, it ends over here. So yeah. Are we going to see today how to scalp on M1 using AIRO and RSI indicator? I wasn't looking to do any scalping on the M1. Was somebody going to be doing that? Only because I'm not really comfortable with scalping on the M1 on currency pairs. And then US 30 did a big move yesterday, so I wouldn't necessarily do that one today either. But if it comes up and if something's not showing, then yeah, we could probably take a look. Let me check the next one. Do we have? Oh, you already got that one.
Yeah, I'm locking it down.
Oh, okay. About the changing of the thing, the zone.
Yeah. Hold on. Oh, okay.
Bob is asking about the S&P and about there was an up and down fractal on the same candle. Oh, he's never seen that before. I have. I'm not quite sure. It might be, where is it at? I could have sworn I just saw it even on here somewhere. Darn it, it went away. But I have seen that. Here's an example of one. Up and down on the same one. I'm not really quite sure why that occurs, but and then someone does mention that it could be the counting of 5 candles that covers the fractals. I know that there's been, you know how when you have a strategy and multiple people teach different ways. I was taught based off of the 3 candles, and then there's other people that teach based off of 5 candles. So it could be that might have been an instance of 5 candles, but S&P off of the M15. Yeah, that's what he's talking about. Yeah, that's a little weird. Oh man. But and then it would probably be, here's the 2. If you want to do 5 candles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 2, the middle one out of those, this was the high and it was the low. So that's why that appeared. But look at that. See, you getting this 1 minute to market open. 1 minute to market open. And then it's go time. Hey, here we go. Look at this mess here. All right. Euro USD and AUD CAD. I'm going to AUD CAD first because I was waiting for it. I was talking about it earlier. And because you guys already know, don't like Euro USD. All right. AUD CAD. It's 9:30. Bounce, arrow, go. And this is a counter trend trade because it's before 10 a.m. And we are on a downtrend, and that's an up arrow. That is a valid counter 6 trade. Let me count that I got 20 pips to the zone. And I have 17. Yeah. I'm going to go for 10 then. There we go. 15 pips or more, going for 10. Let's see, as a buy.
That big wick doesn't scare you, Jackie?
No, it doesn't really scare me. I'm just going to go with the strategy as it is. And then you win some, you lose some. Wait a minute, is this 10 pips? Yeah, 10. There you go. 10 pips. That 200 is right there. Might be a little bit of a magnet. So we're going to do that. Let me make sure I got it right. 10 pips. Still. Sorry, that was that thing telling me that. 40 pips stop loss is way down here. So I'm just going to put it right under that zone. Okay. Yeah, like right there. Let me move that. Still the same thing. Get back, get back. There. Oop, I can't even see it. Hold on, let me move this down. There we go. And boom. Okay. There you go. I'll just put it under that zone. It's not really 40 pips. How many pips is that? 33. So I'll just even move it down just so I have my 40. There. Close enough. All right, good. That's AUD CAD. And then it was Euro USD was the other one. So hop over there. That's, again, you see that? Bank induction into the zone and coming off. I'm already in 2 trades. I don't want to over leverage myself right now. So I'm not going to take this trade. I don't take a lot of trades and all at the same time, even though this is a valid looking one. It doesn't help that this is Euro USD and I don't even like this pair. But couple of things though. Oh, excuse me. This is not a bank induction. My bad. I'm sorry, because we're on a downtrend on the M15 on Euro USD. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't have any more support zones. So this is a downtrend. So that was a down arrow, but going directly into the zone. So no, not a valid trade at all. No bag, no bank induction, no nothing. So good thing I ignored it. We good so far? CB, you're good? Matt, you good?
Yep. Looking at these trades, we might get a fractal here on the our first trade, the pound Canadian here.
Okay, cool. I like it, like it, like it. And 933, good. So before I jump to the Q&A, guys, let me go take a look at my indices. I'm looking at US 500, S&P 500. Let me see where we're at. It's touching the MA on the M15. My 200 is down here. Let's see. This is on an uptrend. Okay, so here is this little blue number here. It is closed above the money zone of the previous day. All right. So what I am looking for is this would have been the first candle that closed above the money zone when the new money zone started. And then this would have been your entry. You see how it went up? Okay. So that strategy for a breakout, right? I'm looking for that same strategy for a breakout to happen again. However, since it's already up here, I'm kind of going to need it to kind of come back down and then go back up again. So even though it's going to close above the money zone, above the MA, I'm feeling like I'm not completely confident that it's not going to pull back on me. So I'm going to wait on that one. And since S&P is doing that, because I'm seeing this 200 down here, and see how price has just been kind of hanging above here? It hasn't come back down here to this 200 yet. I feel like this 200 is getting ready to drag it. So I'm going to wait. And if S&P is doing that, I'm going to look at US 30, and it looks very similar. Correct? As you can see. Now, if I zoom in a little bit, though, look at the money zone previous day. We're on an uptrend. Money zone previous day had a breakout already right here. Bounce, arrow, go. Breakout on US 30, and it went directly into the zone. So it's coming back down now. So what happens is at 9:45, right? Even if it closes above the money zone, I'm not confident in it because it's like pullback time. There's 200s right here. I want this thing to pull back. This is exactly what happened. Well, not exactly what happened yesterday, but when price is not closing above the money zone or above the MA, I'm waiting for it to pull back. Let it come on back down and then let it work its way back up again. Okay, and then close above it. So it might not even do it today. I was looking for these to happen today, but it happened yesterday. So that's US 30. And then let's look at little NASDAQ and see what NASDAQ is doing. See, look, breakout. It already took away. So I might not be catching strat 4s on these today. I'm probably just going to be able to just do bag entries maybe. But that 200 is going to bring that thing on down. So we'll see what happens there. I just wanted to quickly take a look at those three to see if I had anything. Matt and CB, you guys are good? Anything y'all want to comment on those?
I'm looking right now at Bitcoin. There was a pretty standard bag entry on the M5, but it's reversing a little bit right now on the 1 minute. So I'm kind of watching it. But if you want to take a quick look at it, it's a pretty decent looking setup.
You said Bitcoin?
Bitcoin on the M5.
Okay. I did not put Bitcoin on my list.
Well, you told me I'm your crypto guy, so
you did say that. I did say that. Yes, I did. You are the crypto guy. What'd you say? What chart was it?
The M5.
M5.
Bitcoin. Yeah,
okay.
M5.
And I need to build my strength up in trading Bitcoin. All right. So, bounce, arrow, go is what you're seeing here.
Yeah, it's below the 200, so I haven't jumped in it yet. If you it's reversing, it's retracing a little bit on the 1 minute right now, but if you look at the 1 minute, the arrow MA's moved above the 200. So,
were you looking at this as a bag or as a counter trend?
Oh yeah,
it's a downtrend on the M5.
I'm so used to Bitcoin being on the long. You're right. It's probably well, it could be a counter trend, but I didn't even notice that. So
that's okay.
Interesting.
Yep.
That's okay. Yeah, I'm not good at the counter trends on M5, and so I keep getting faked out. So that's why I stayed on the M15 for those.
It's coming. It's coming back. It might bounce again here. It's looking like anyway. So.
Oh, GCAT wants to continue to go up again. Did it break that zone? I'm looking at it now.
It's right. It's coming
It
right
did
up to
break
the
that zone. Okay, well, it's forming a
the next one,
high.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm not really liking it so much at this point. Because I was thinking it would have turned around by now if it was going to.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I'm gonna still kind of hold off on it, even though that 200 is kind of acting like a magnet. I'm gonna kind of hold off and see what it's doing. It formed the high of the day, and I'm just gonna see.
Well, you're at 23.6 retracement, right?
Yep. Oh yeah, I didn't change my levels here on this one because I'm on a challenge account right now. So
yeah, I get you.
I didn't do my update. So yeah, it's at 23.6. So I'm not worried yet. And then it came back down at least to like 8 pips and negative. So I'm okay so far. And then my odd CAD, that was a counter trend, but that one did a nice pullback as well. And we'll see what happens with that 200. So they're both CADs going in different directions. So honestly, one of them has to win. One has to go, but we'll keep it posted. But those are the rules of those. So I'm following those rules right now. And we'll see what wins out. And let's see what else is going on.
Got a couple questions here, Jackie, if you want me to go through a couple of those real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So we got the BTC USD. Someone asked if it was a good trade. Right now, I wouldn't be taking it because it's not a higher probability trade. But that's just me, right? If you see something else, then just because I don't take a trade doesn't mean you don't have to take a trade, right? It could go to target. Just doesn't fit my mine or CB's paradigm of trading. So,
yep.
So if you get equal zones, how do you know which way to trade? That is a great question. I can first talk about my own level of trading, and I might speak for CB on this one, but when it comes to equal zones, I don't trade them. I walk away from equal zones.
I stay away from it also. I would say, Matt, the only time I look at it is if you get an arrow, going in a direction that's very close to the zone, but usually you get those arrows on those in the middle, and it feels like a coin flip.
Yeah. Someone's asking if you are familiar with the market maker's method, Jackie.
Strat 9, not completely just yet. I've still been studying it. So no, I cannot confidently speak on that strategy just yet. I'm familiar with like all the strategies except 7 and 9. So I'm still working on those.
Yeah, that's one of the most complex ones right out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
That market maker, like literally, I think there was like a couple days worth of videos.
Yeah, that takes time to study, especially since I'm first off, the reason why 9 is a little harder for me while we're waiting for these things to do what they want to do. The reason why 9 is harder for me than any other ones is because it's based off of knowing the cycle, the market maker cycle, and catching those M's and W's, and those are my weakness. Looking for M's and W's. Those are one of my weaknesses. So Strat 9 takes a little longer for me to familiarize myself with, to study it, and then be able to execute it. So it'll probably be a while before I can get Strat 9 down pat.
Because we all have our limits.
Yeah, it came back down. Yeah. So you know what? I was just thinking too is in Mercedes, shout out to you, Mercedes, with the fractals. I would agree with you, only because I remember, guys, when I started talking about the bank induction, I would say, see the bank induction. And I remember, I think I said I missed something and it said, wait for the fractal and then take the trade. But then Strat 10 came out and it was just take the trade on the next candle. So this one was taking a trade on the next candle. Probably gonna wait for the fractal going forward like I had already started doing. It's just a little bit of a tweak to the strategy. So it doesn't necessarily mean the strategy doesn't work, but it could be a tweak so that way maybe you can get in at a better position. So I would agree with that, Mercedes. Next time I'll wait for my fractal like I was doing. Hey, you in the blue? That's great. Are you shocked? Is that what I'm seeing? Like, why are we shocked? Still don't understand where your money zone is. Is the money zone when London opens for 12 hours? Money zone starts at 1 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, because we just had the change here, and then ends at 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So my money zone is here. This is on Bitcoin. I don't want to do this on Bitcoin because sometimes the charts are different on Bitcoin to compare to others. So I'll just go to like CAD. Here we go. Here's my money zone off of the M15. Oh, we're getting an alert. USD JPY sell. Let me check, see what we're going on here. I believe that we are all up in that zone. And I think this is an uptrend. So that would be considered a bank induction, right? Because we're on an uptrend. And the only reason why I know we're on uptrend is because I marked off the high of the money zone. That was actually a very easy way for me to do that. High of the money zone up here. So we're on an uptrend. This is actually considered a bank induction. Ooh, and a beautiful one at that, because you got a full candle all up in this zone. And normally you would take the trade based on Strat 10, go on this next candle. But that thing just came back down. So what did I just say I'm going to do? I'm going to wait for my fractal. And then I'll jump in. Okay. So lesson learned. See, you ain't got to tell me something twice. You reminded me once. I'm good. Let's see here. All right. Good job. And I'm just going through the Q&A real quick until something else pops up. So, I mean, that is a valid strategy 10 bank induction, you guys, if you want to follow it to the T, but I'm just going to check this fractal thing since what happened with GCAD, see if I can get into a better position. I kind of wanted one of those two trades to close, though, before I take a third trade. I don't like being in 3 positions at the same time. What was supposed to happen at the 945 candle? On the indices, I was looking for the breakout. Oh, and somebody's saying that NAS is going crazy right now. Okay, let me go jump to NAS in the indices then. I was waiting for a breakout, so maybe oh, it sure the heck did break out then. I wasn't sure if it was going to do so. But here it is, you guys. This is what I was looking for. Strat 4 in play. And this is 930. And this is 945, right? Okay. So this is Strat 4, and it's fine because NAS is its own thing. But I marked off the high of the money zone the previous day. Price needs to close the first candle after stock market opens that closes above the money zone. The next candle, you take the trade in the direction of the trend, which would have been this candle. I wouldn't be comfortable with this because it's all up in this resistance zone. Okay, but that is a breakout. All right, it's just a breakout into a resistance zone. I would much rather prefer that there was no zone there, so that I would be a little bit more comfortable with the trade. But that is the Strat 4 breakout that I was talking about. And that is actually what happened on US 30 yesterday, but just at a later point in time. So there you go. So thank you for bringing that out so people can actually see it. Again, I'm not comfortable with it because it's all up in this zone. But if there was no zone, valid Strat 4. Let me jump over to the other two indices and see what they're doing then. Okay, so now here's US 30. Here is the 930 candle. Here's a 945 candle. No breakout. because here is the money zone from the previous day. Price closed below down here. Okay, so I would need price to come back up, close above the MA, close above the money zone for it to be the breakout. All right, that's what I'm looking for. But again, if it does do that, it's going to be all up in this zone again. So not going to be really good trades. Kind of don't want that zone there at all. Okay, but it could break out and just completely break the zone. So it might do that. GCAD is playing, you guys.
Yeah.
Jeez. Just hovering. Anyway, so that was that. And then US 500 probably did the same. Oh, well, see, look at that. It broke out like NAS did. And there has no zone. Dang it. But anyway, so again, this is what you guys can look for tomorrow, since I'm not going to be here. But again, here's the 9:30 candle. All right. Marked off the high of the money zone here. That's where this blue is. All right. Long as stop market open, closes above the money zone, closes above the AIRO MA, take the trade on the next candle. There you go.
That's
Breakout.
a pretty high probability trade, isn't it, Jackie?
Yeah, very much so. So I'm just kind of mad I missed it. But thank you for whoever reminded me. It's very hard to keep track of those things when you're talking and looking at other trades. But yeah, so there you go. So next time, you guys, let's try and catch that one. So US 30 might still be in play, but we have that resistance zone there. So, but you might be able to catch something if it does it again. I might look for it on the M1 actually. Let me do that. M15, it's in this zone. So it's going to come out. So I'm going to go down on the M1 and wait for it. There you go. So let this thing come on up, close above this MA, and keep coming and close above this money zone, which would then, you see how this 200 EMA is acting like a magnet bringing it up? So let it close above there and give me a chance to jump in so we can at least take it to this resistance zone. That would be nice. So I'm going to prepare for that breakout. Here we go. Okay. All right. So strat 4 for US 30 is what I'm waiting on. And the CADs want to play around. And I think that was the only alert that we had so far, correct? Did I think I catch all the alerts, guys? I think so. All right. So Q&A. Is there a way to add a candle countdown timer? Not right now, but the AIRO V4 dashboard does have a timer on it. So it will be coming. So you don't have to add it yourself. It'll be on the dashboard when it comes out, hopefully soon. And then how do I get the fractals on our chart? It's insert, it's an indicator, regular indicator. And I'll say it again, insert, click on it, indicators, Bill Williams, click on it, fractals. Okay. And let's see. With, oh, Euro USD, what was that? That Euro one?
Yeah, Euro Yen, it wasn't. Euro Yen, but that thing.
Dollar Yen. There we go. That one. This one.
Oh, there.
Yeah. It's okay. Thanks. Somebody mentioned bank induction. I said, oh, yeah. Dollar Yen. All right. So bank induction. See how this looks like it's forming a fractal? So it will be confirmed on the third candle. So here's the thing. If you did it based on the basic rules of the strategy going right off of the candle, you would have got in here. You would have had a little bit of a drawdown. And then you see how it came back up in favor? That's strat 10, right? Bank induction, basic rules. But because of what happened with GCAD earlier, and I started doing the fractals, because again, that was also from Bobby Will. He said, look for the fractal to get in. Then I'm waiting for this fractal to form and then get in there. You do get in a little bit later, but it might be a little bit of a better position. So waiting for the fractal to be formed. All right. What we got? Oh, so Portia's asking, so with the bank induction, are we still trading with the trend, even though it's going in the opposite direction? Absolutely. Yeah, you're still following the trend of the time frame. So the bank induction is basically a counter AIRO alert. And let's see. Yeah, it's a counter trend alert, right? So what we did, USD JPY, it's going with the trend, M15 uptrend, right? When you get a down arrow going directly into the zone, which is a counter trend, you are able to take the trade on the next candle going in the direction of the trend as a buy. Okay, so you could a strategy 10 all the way. All right. In this instance, though, like I said, we had a little bit of a drawdown with this GBP CAD that was going on here. And honestly, you know what? Now that zone is gone on GBP CAD, it honestly might not be considered a bank induction anymore since it's gone. So if you was to go back and look at it, it might not be considered a bank induction anymore. It would just be like a counter trend trade. So I'm actually going to think about closing out of this GCAD one. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'll come back to it later though, because it could be somebody said they still have a resistance zone here. So it's a little odd to me when we have those, but that's how you know about your bank induction. Euro JPY looking for a bank intro buy. Royce, what time frame, brother? M15? Let me know. NAS on the M15, resistance zone, maybe disintegrating due to the recent move. Most likely, yeah. If with the thing here. Bitcoin M5. That's you, CB. What we got? Ooh, all up in that zone. And it's a downtrend though, right? So it's a downtrend into the zone. So this is not a counter trend. It's not anything else. It's all up in that zone. It's just not a valid trade because it's all up in the zone. So somebody was talking about NAS on the M15. Yeah, it's probably going to break the zone. Yeah, because of that big push. But I wouldn't have taken the trade because it's all up in the zone. You know, I don't want to be in trades where price is all up in the zone because it could always backfire on you. I don't want to take a what is it? It needs to be a quality trade is what I'm looking for. A quality trade. That's what I'm looking for. It could go in my favor, but I don't want to risk. I don't want to gamble my money on that. You know what I mean? I want to take a really good informed risk trade. So the GBP CAD trade was informed risk trade. It was a bank induction at the time, and now it's retracing back, but my zone is gone. So actually, matter of fact, you guys, who still has a zone on GCAD on their charts on the M15? Let me know in the chat because I'm looking at the chat right now. You do, Paul? Okay. On the M15, wait a minute. Paul, do you have the zone where it is gone on mine? So I just want to make sure. Not that second zone. Not this one. Do you still have a zone right up in here? Let me know so I can see. It's going on yours? Okay. No zone. Yeah, that's what I thought. So it's going on. I don't have a
zone either. It disappeared.
Yeah. So here's the thing. So that zone got broken. So technically, this would look like a counter trend trade. All right. But so technically I probably can get out of it and just take this little 7-8 pip loss. Because, and here's the thing. If you look at it with just this bounce arrow go here as a counter, this is a strategy 6, if I count it, right? And this is we're live trading, you guys. So this is stuff that you guys want to come up with. And if I do, see how I went 20 pips, right? That's so technically that arrow, when we got it, it looked like a bank induction, but it turned out to be a strategy 6 trade because it went 20 pips, right? So it still is in our favor to come back down, right? But as far as what we did with a bank induction, so technically we kind of got in early on a bag that's getting ready to happen. But as that trade was playing out, it appeared to us as a bank induction with following the rules, but it turned into a strategy 6 counter trade. So if you're back testing this, you're not going to see what we have saw. You're going to be like, oh, well, that was a strategy 6 trade. Boom, that's 20 pips. Yeah, but that's not what happened when we were doing it live. Okay. So I'm still going to hang out in this trade because now I got my, this looks like this might be a fractal that's going to be confirmed right here. Once this closes at 10 o'clock, and then price can probably be coming back down again. But very wary of this 200 EMA hanging out, and I see this MA curving up. So I am going to wait and see if this confirms me as a fractal, and maybe I might just get out at break even or something. I don't know. I have to see what I want to do. But that's how that played out. So that's actually very interesting that happened here live with all of us.
Yeah, that's a good observation, eh?
Thank you.
Things don't always play out like the textbook says.
Exactly.
Put it that way.
Exactly. So we weren't wrong. You know,
No.
You're not wrong. We weren't wrong at all.
That'll be a fractal guaranteed, though.
Yeah, now it is for sure. Okay, so EU out at a zone. I don't know what that means. It's just giving a down arrow on the M1 if that means anything. Tony, let me out, darling. I was just looking at the chest. Let's go back to the Q&A for an instance. Oh, UJ, go back to UJ, Jackie. Let me go back. Okay, it's playing around, not a confirmed fractal yet. Gotta wait 1 minute and see what it does. Okay. See, it didn't give it to me. So this might be the 5 candle one that LaShawn was talking about. Shout out to LaShawn. So we'll see what happens there. But it's coming on out. See how it's coming out that zone? So if you would have took it on just the basic general strategy of the bank induction, you would be in profit. And you would be 7 pips up, maybe 5 to 6 pips up. So we'll see what that is. All right.
Hey, we got a nice fractal on pound CAD there.
Oh, we did get a confirmed fractal there. There we go.
Oh yeah.
All right. So we got a confirmed fractal. We're in here at the opening of that candle, pretty much. Ain't that interesting? You see what I'm saying? Like the candle open right where our price was at. So, all right. If we're going to switch this to a fractal trade, 10 pips, take profit.
Yeah, I like that.
Yep. Because it's no longer our bank induction, right? So now this is turning into a fractal trade, 10 pips, take profit. Come on down and it'll bring it back down to this AIRO MA to maybe retest off of that and then go back in the direction where it wants to go, because apparently it wants to go up today. So we'll see how that works. Odd CAD. See, that's just changing something on the fly based on what happened. Odd CAD was a counter trade. That was the strategy 6 counter trade that we took. Bounce, arrow, go. Strategy 6 is 10 o'clock. It is 3 pips, 2 pips in the negative, and it's a downtrend. It's losing power here. So we'll see what happens with that. But I am not like, I want that arrow that's hanging over this AIRO MA. But
we might get a fractal. We might get a fractal on this candle here too.
Yeah, which would be nice. So yep. Yeah, right here. So if that's the case, I'm gonna have to move that down 10 pips. Oh, I'm already at 10 pips, I think. Yeah, I was already at 10 pips. Here we go. Oh, I was at 10 because of not being as to the zone here. So I'm gonna leave that at 10. All right, and then UJ was the other one that we got the call out for. Not that fractal hasn't been confirmed, and then it's playing around. All right. Okay. Lots of stuff going on. Daryl's asking, what would be our stop loss and take profit for currency pairs? 20 pip take profit, 40 pip stop loss. Minimum trade amount for the US 500. I've seen people trade with 50 bucks, 100 bucks, 500 bucks. Up to you and whether or not you can handle the drawdown, but sniper entries are key with S&P 500. I've traded with $100 account, but I'm a little bit more comfortable with 250 and 500 only because of drawdown sometimes. My personal way of trading them. Eden said, don't do it, it's coming down. What are you talking about, Eden? I was able to get a good trade on Nas this morning. What were you talking about what's coming down? EJ, is that what you were talking about? Let me know. Yeah, Nas was nice this morning. GCAD.
US 30 is making a big move.
Is it? M1, Jackie, go to US 30 move. Oh, going down. Okay. No, I wanted it to go up. I want the US 30 to go back up. Let's
Maybe it'll
see
bounce off that support down there.
Oh, yeah, it might. Put on this there. Here we go. So, yeah. That's the M5. It's an uptrend on the M5. So, gonna have to wait. Making that powerful move down. That's nice. I like that. Keep going. This would have been at 9:30. At 9:30 down. That's pushed all that down. And then let's see here. So I'm going to go back to that GCAD. That GCAD formed that fractal, and then what did it do? It bounced right back up. Oh, is that your Bitcoin there, CB?
I had an Ethereum actually I'm looking at, but it's nothing.
Okay. You know what? I'm going to come out of this GCAD trade only because now I got like an engulfing candle forming. Bullish. I don't like that. So I am going to close out of that. I don't like that at all. Not at all. Come on out, GCAD. Have to get out of there. Another one. Close out of that one. Yeah, that's powerful. Even if it is making that high, that thing is powerful. It's probably going to that 200 MA is bringing that sucker up. So, but then where's my odd CAD? We in favor on that one yet? There we go. Now it's pulling it up. So yeah, that 200 being a little magnet, pulling it up. Go ahead. So what did I do? That was, let me do this. Come to that 200 there. There we go. Make up some of my little bit of loss there. Alrighty. And then what else we looking at? UJ. What was UJ doing? Didn't form a complete fractal, and then it's dropping down. So we're still waiting on that. So we're still just in all CAD. So that GCAD trade, that was interesting how that turned out. That was very interesting. Alrighty. Anything on you, Matt?
Matt had to step away for a second.
Oh, he did? Okay. How about, CB, you said you said Ethereum and nothing on there?
Nothing on there, nope.
Okay. All right. Oh, somebody was asking GCAD, why is it a massive downtrend? Why is it a counter trade? Because it was an up arrow. And the up arrow at the time was a bank induction. Would have gave us the continuation of the downtrend. But it turned into a counter trend trade of Strat 6, going for 20 pips. Okay. So that's what happened. So it appeared one way and then turned into something else, into a different strategy. But by that time, it was gone. And it could have came back around and worked in our favor, but then this engulfing candle appeared. So I just hopped out of that and we'll wait. But this 200 EMA is what's pulling it. So actually, now that I think about it, it might be better to just pay attention to where this 200 EMA is and see what's going on. So that's why that happened. What about EU, Tyrone? You want to look at EU? What time frame are we looking at? M15? Excuse me. Okay, there was a drop. This happened. 9:15, downtrend. Oh, okay. So I have a strap forward in play because it closed below the money zone. Then it turned around and it came up again. Okay. I like this. I like this. I like this. Let me look at that again. We are still, yeah, I marked it for a downtrend. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4. That's a downtrend. I marked it for the below the money zone. Broke lower than that. And then it's hanging right there. I think I might take that one. Let me look at make sure I'm not going in here. It's coming back up like it want to touch it. I feel like this 200 EMA is going to be dragging it back up again like a magnet, that darn magnet. So let it drag back up again and see what happens. But this EU, so okay, here's the thing, you guys. There was a zone here. Remember, when EU alert came out, there was a support zone here. And it was this candle closing in the support zone. Okay? It wasn't a valid bag trade because it was in the zone, right? And it was a downtrend, so it wasn't a counter trend trade either. It was in the zone. What happened? Price broke the zone. That's why we didn't take that trade. It may look like a bag trade now, even though you don't have a resistance zone up here. I don't know what happened there, but it may look like a bag trade now, but at the time it didn't. Just like what happened at GCAD. So now that what it looked like it was not a trade, it actually turned into a trade. There was nothing that I could do about that. I couldn't predict that would happen, you know? So, and you can't do that, not when you live trading. You don't know what it's going to do. It just happened to work out in their favor. So now it broke through this money zone from the previous day. That's why it was such a strong move down, right? And then this is the first candle that closes. So this candle, normally you would take this for the sell and continue on. But see how it's pulling back now? So now I got to wait. I can't just arbitrarily just jump into this trade now. And I feel like it's going to pull back to this 200 EMA. This thing is going to be like a little magnet. You see how I look down on the M5? See how it's pulling back up? I mean, I got this fractal here. It's pulling back up. Let it pull back up and then jump in for another trade going down again. Instead of me trying to catch it now. Because then I'm going to be in hurt feelings. But thank you for shouting out that EU one. Because that explained what happened. Okay? Isaiah, what you talking about? News has affected GBP. Thank you, Isaiah, for the fake out. Yes, thank you for that. Euro CAD for a money zone breakout. Let's take a look. Same situation. Seeing how it's pulling back now? Same situation. But again, you had this bag that happened prior to us being on the call. So this bag occurred and it dropped, right? And it's following the trend. That's fine. But then all this other stuff happened as well. All right. So yes, it did break out, and it closed below. But then this next candle turned around and went back up again. So I would just wait for it to turn around and come back down again. So thank you for that on ECAD. And what do we think about gold? And do we see any possible breakout? Oh, I didn't even think about gold today. So let's see here. Where's gold? Here. All right. So gold is being funny today, you guys. So looking at gold, look at all that. Okay, gold. It's messing around in this up in this zone. Look at the M5. Oh, I hate it when I have to keep doing that. There we go. Looking at M5 here. M5 looks just as bad. I wouldn't be trading gold. We got fractals all over the place on gold. No.
That is a mess.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with gold today on that. But looking at gold on a higher time frame, though, you can kind of see why that's happening. So gold on a higher time frame, I drew my fib. I started up here at that fractal. Come down here to this fractal. Very short downtrend, right? Because it got stopped interrupted right here. And so if you look at it, it's almost like 100%, right? And reason why is you got this 200 EMA, and then the AIRO MA crossed going up on H1, giving it some power and some strength to continue going up again. I actually wanted gold to drop to 1501, but it didn't do so. So that's what happened there. But if you look at the daily as well, all right, see how gold is bouncing off of this support zone that was here? And if you zoom in, you had a fractal, shoot up. You see that? Fractal, and gold is going up again. So, and look at where that 200 EMA is. So it's like a little magnet pulling that price on up there. So let it keep on pulling itself up. That's what I see gold doing, and why it's probably looking like that on those lower time frames. So I'll just be on the lookout for that. I'm not, but there's too much going on for gold. It's not very steady. Yes, exactly. Gold's been a mess. Let it do what it needs to do. GCAD jumped back up since you said it though. Yeah, did it? Okay. Where's GCAD at? There we go. Yeah, see, now it formed that high, and then see how it's coming back down again? So maybe it can make up for itself by giving me a down arrow so I can go to this zone for 20 pips. Rectify yourself, GBP CAD. Which, if it does do that, then this Aussie CAD one is probably not going to work out either. So, yeah, see, I got a fractal here form. And is it going to, see, it's going to come back down again. So I might get a down arrow even on Aussie CAD too. So I think, even though I feel like this 200 needs to be dragging it up. So we'll see. I don't know. I could be guessing this whole time. All right, so the next one, when the 200 EMA meets the indicator moving average, is that a sign to hold? I don't necessarily think so. I think it's just I take those as signs of just momentum and just showing how where price is moving on the trend. So, but I like it when they cross, because when they do cross in the direction, that means you got a lot of momentum going in that direction. So for instance, in this case, as the AIRO MA turns around maybe and comes back up and crosses over this 200 EMA, you might signify a strong change in price going back up again. Just like any other MA cross is what I would see it as. You cool over there, CB?
I'm hanging right now, kind of watching this odd CAD trade.
Okay. All right. And then let's see. Euro GBP, Princeton, what you want us to look at, Princeton? Certain time frame? What are we doing? I don't even have Euro GBP on here, only because it typically is not a U.S. trading pair. But I will add that on here just to take a look. I'm a little bit disappointed now because I missed that S&P breakout. Darn. Let's see here, Euro GBP. And let's go here. I'm assuming it's on the M15 is what you're referring to. So, yeah, that's a night. Well, I got a fractal down here. Look at that cross, and it came down. Yeah, it's going down. I mean, so Euro GBP could be doing one or two things. If you zoom out, of course, 1, 2, 3 versus 1 zone. So it's telling you Euro GBP is on a downtrend. All right. So if it's on a, I mean, just as you zoom out, look at what it's been doing on the M15. Here's your downtrend starting, right? And then what do you see here? Nothing but a bunch of ranging consolidation, right? Breakout, down again, stopped. You know, it's looks like a cycle even happening here. 1, 2, 3, 4, zoom, going out, and now it's coming back down again. So it could be restarting its downtrend again, which is fine, you know, and that's where that would make that a valid bounce arrow go. When did this come out though? This arrow alert came out, I can't even see it. It won't let me hover over it. Ooh, I don't want to change my zone. No, thank you. Well, look at that drastic drop though. But somebody did say news came out, so that could have affected it. but it came out, dropped down. It might continue to drop down to this support, bounce out, and come back around again, start a new retracement. So it could be doing all of that, but it's gone now. You're gonna have to wait for another reason to jump back in at that point. Yeah, got you. Cash said on the SPX he got enough for everyone. Oh, that's wonderful, Lexi. The S&P breakout, very nice. Going back over there, so there we go. US 30 turning around. That's good. Come on back to that 200, and come on back to this AIRO MA. Where is my money zone? There we go. Back to the M1. Now look at what it has to get through to do what I needed to do. So it's crossed above the AIRO MA, good. 200's pulling it back, good. If it's strong enough, might be able to crush this zone and cross over to this money zone breakout. And that would be nice. And that would be a nice quick pip and dip on that one for sure, because of these zones sitting in here. All right, so that is that. Let me know if you guys have anything else in S&P and demo. Euro USD, we already talked about Euro USD. Yeah, S&P on demo. Dollar yen looks like a nice sell, does it? Okay. It was at the time a bank. Yeah, well, no, it don't look like a nice sell for me. I got this zone sitting in here. So no, not right now anyway. Remember, this is on an uptrend, okay? Dollar yen is on an uptrend. Remember, this is like a bank induction. And normally you would have got in on this candle here based on strat 10 and gone up. But I was already in 2 trades at the time. I didn't want to over leverage myself. And then GK wanted to be mean to me. So it's on an uptrend. That's why you would take the buy here. All right. And then the fractal formed here. And you could take the buy and go in now and get in. But this is a bank induction move that played out the way it needed to. Right? So that's what that is. And if you jump in, I mean, if you look at it, M1 buy. Yep, I needed that. That means it closed above the, yep, good. Now let this 200 EMA drag it up there and close above this money zone breakout and should be good there. So hold on. Drawdown on US 30 is not pretty. So sniper entry is key. But yeah, UJ, if you're looking at it, you got in right here and you did that 9, you would have been about 9 almost 10 pips up. All right, this is supposed to be a 20 pip trade. You want to go 20 pips, you need to come up here, so it'll be a while for it to do that on UJ, but it can go. But if you're doing a fractal off of a zone, confirm here, you could probably get 10 pips and that'll take you to the same area if this 200 EMA is bringing it up, bringing price to it. But you see this AIRO MA is crossing over it too, coming down, so it could be putting some pressure to make it stay down there. That's why you don't see a massive jump up. Okay, that's where my thought process is on UJ. No, you're good, no problem. I know, Eden. Isaiah, you've been watching gold. 1700 is the bounce I've seen to go up. Makes sense. But like I said, gold is being really funny. I would not go on gold, long on gold right now, unless I see an entry that is optimal. Like we saw earlier. Look, we following the strategies of AIRO, right? And as we clearly saw, 2 trades that came up, they were one way, but then price did something completely different and turned into another strategy. Nothing we could do about predicting that, right? But gold, for instance, if you're looking at gold, you see this is gold here on the H1. I'm on the H1 because I like to look at what's happening with gold. Massive downtrend on the H1, right? Well, we already know that because if you look on the daily chart, this is that massive downtrend that you see. right? Aaron, I remember for the last few weeks, for the last few weeks, couple of weeks, been calling it when this AIRO MA crossed over, the melt was going to happen, and it did, right? But now it's bouncing off of the zone, and gold is going back up. So I would just wait for it. Honestly, I would just wait for an entry following the trend, you know? Like right here, I drew my fib and it's already 100% retracement off of this little movement. That's one thing. But if I get rid of it and show you guys, see, RCAT is playing, giving me 1 and 2 pips and then just leaving. Do this. All right, good. If I really wanted to come out and draw the trend for the bigger goal, what happened, all right, I would, this is my low. I'm going to start here at this one. Low. All right. So here's that move here. I picked this one because this zone right here is already there. So I moved my high back to this. So right here, it's already past 61.8. So a couple of things can happen right here. You see price is stalling. This resistance zone is putting up quite a fight, right? So what price is probably going to do, one or two things. It's going to get strong and a massive push going up, breaking the zone, or this could be just a way to get an AIRO alert maybe going up, or have price turn around and go down strongly. I would prefer down, honestly, because I kind of want gold to kind of reset itself. My own personal opinion. But price can come down and let it give you a down entry AIRO alert following the trend down to the support zone. If it breaks that, that's even better. Come down to this next one. That's kind of what I see gold doing. I'm not really looking for buys on gold because I'm off of the H1. And any of the lower time frames, you'll see as well, zooming out, it's all downtrends. So I'm not looking for buys because technically buys will be putting you into counter trends to the way price is moving right now. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm not necessarily looking for buys. But when you mention the 1700, that's actually a pretty good area. That's like right around here. Yeah, it might do that. Come down there, bounce off, and go on up. So good looking out on that. Keep it posted. Darnell, you're funny. Bag entry on McDonald's. Really? I gotta check it out. Do I think Nas is going down off of the M15? NASDAQ be doing what it want to do. Go back to my US 30 M1. See? Okay. I just want y'all to peep this. It was a bag entry, right? On the M1 on US 30. And then remember I said I'm not jumping in just yet because the drawdown can be killer. This is why. Okay. I don't just jump into trades just to jump into a trade. I'm taking trades based on rules and following it and looking at what price is doing. If the trade don't work out, like what happened with GCAT, it just don't work out. But now that I'm looking at GCAT, you see how GCAT is hovering and all these wicks are exhausting. So that thing could turn around and come back down in our favor, but I didn't want to hold on to it anymore. So
if it's gonna go, it's gonna send you another alert, right? You're gonna get that other alert, and then you take it. Then there's no problem getting out of a trade that didn't play out. You know, it's not a loss. Don't worry about wins and losses. Just trade what you see.
Exactly. So NASDAQ off the M15. Do I think it's gonna come down? Probably, maybe. I'm not sure. Honestly, I see a lot of pressure going up. I mean, the AIRO MA, 200 MA, and the breakout from that money zone, pressure going up. That thing might be taking off into the stratosphere again. And if you look, so I'm not looking at it on the M15 per se. I'll look at it here on the H1. Now look at it on the H1. See how it's and as you can see, look at where it's going to. See that? I don't necessarily see it coming down yet. I think it's going to come touch this zone. Yeah, and US 30 give me a sell. That's fine. Not time for a sell on US 30. Yeah. Well, wait a minute. We on a downtrend on the M1. I don't like M1. I don't Well, nope, don't trust it. I don't like M1 for that. But look at that. No, I don't like it. No, I'm not going to get caught. I'm not going to get caught. Go back. US 30 could be tricking me right now. Follow what I want. Go up. But anyway, NAS is going up. That's why I don't foresee it going down right now. But on the M15, what it could do, see how, look at the M15 now, when you kind of zoom out a little bit, you didn't see this resistance zone there. So it could touch that resistance zone, turn around and bounce back down again. It could do that. But I would just wait for an alert. Right now, I'm kind of wanting to just wait for alerts now. Bag entry on McDonald's. And somebody's saying, is there a way for me to send a screenshot? Your USD JPY on AIRO does not show a support zone, which is weird. Would I know why that is? Well, you know what, Kevin? It could be it's a broker thing, because different brokers, the candlesticks are formed based on each broker's price quotes, okay, and how price is moving for each one. So they will be different. But if you're on UJ and you don't see this support zone here, it could be that this candle broke it for your broker, all right, and it's just gone. Whereas on mine it didn't. Okay, or you can kind of bring it down. And what I'm doing to bring the screen down, by the way, shout out to the squad who showed this to me, because I completely forgot you could do this in MT4, is you come over here to your prices, click on it, and then just drag it, and it'll scrunch it up or expand the screen for you. Okay, so if you don't see that zone here, you'll probably see this zone here, but you probably do have a zone. If you don't see that, then on either one, it's most likely maybe just the difference in broker thing. That's all.
Because that's pretty tight, Jackie. Like if you're looking at where your wick is, like that could be simply just a broker feed thing. Your wick at the bottom where your fractal is.
Oh yeah.
Like if it breaks that could just be like what, maybe 1 pip, half a pip, a quarter of a pip. So.
Absolutely. Somebody asked me what was my take profit on the ORCAD. Oh, I brought it up to that MA because I thought it was gonna come up there, but it's 10 pips because it turned into a fractal trade. That's why. So where's my pay to broker? Boom, there you go. Yeah, it turned into a fractal trade only because of this counter trend didn't go to 20 pips, and then it's hovering back. So I just turned it into a fractal trade and go for 10. Okay. UJ lost that green zone support level on Envy. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, that makes sense. So it's just difference on broker thing. And then Darnell's talking about the bag entry off of McDonald's, off of the M15. So I will see if I can get McDonald's on here because I'm doing this challenge. But McDonald's, is it equity? I don't think I got McDonald's on here though. Sorry. I know it's on Envy. Yeah, I don't got McDonald's with this one. But if you see it following the trend, bag entry, go for it, man.
Tony had a call out for Aussie Swiss. Actually, looks like a valid bag from the overall trend. You're in the right direction. Got a really nice bounce.
Okay.
Then you got an AIRO. But see what you think.
Okay. Aussie.
I just got to check how much room we have until that red zone there.
Bounce. Okay.
Almost 20 pips.
I see it. Let me see to the zone. It's 20 pips to the zone on mine. And this is a uptrend?
Yeah.
Oh, 1, 2, 3. I'm not sure.
I don't like that moving average. Look at that 200.
It's right there. Well, it's in the way. It hasn't made a new high since then. Bounce, AIRO. I don't like this area here. I don't know. I'm not comfortable with this particular trade. Bounce, AIRO, go. I'm not familiar with Aussie Swiss, honestly. And it's not the session that this thing would move in. I'm kind of concerned that you get in and then it's going to be in drawdown back to that support zone. And then here's what it looks like on the M5. So you got that resistance zone there. So it's going to take you some time. I got 3 zones to get to your 20 pips. Nah.
I don't like it. From your analysis and what you just did going down to the 5-minute, to add that extra clarity that there's a nice strong red zone there, and also that we're not in a time where, like, it's probably going to start consolidating until Asian session.
Yeah. So no, I wouldn't necessarily jump in there. But thank you for the call out.
Yeah, someone said that in the chat there. But we got it says NAS is exploding. Someone saying that. So
is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, it's going to that zone that we said it was. So that's good. Let it keep exploding. If you're on the M5, this is what it looks like on the M5, and it's going up, right? So that's fine. Let NAS do what it needed to do. So NAS broke out of and it's going to this, actually it's probably going to this resistance zone on the H1, you know? So again, it did the money zone breakout. That's what it did. All right. But there was a zone there at the time. Remember, this is the candle. There was a resistance zone there. And price was all up in the zone. See, US 30 is still dropping. Dropping. Yeah. And it's kind of playing around too. So that's not good time for US 30 right now. But back to NAS. So this is why I didn't take that trade, because it was all up in the zone. And I don't know that it's going to break that zone or not. So I wait. So I would rather wait for NAS to do what it needs to do, finish this run, turn around, come back down again and catch it on a later time, or maybe tomorrow. But I'm not going to take a trade when it's all up in the zone. And plus, there was no arrow going into the zone signifying anything else. So bag entry of US 30 on the M15. Is it going with the trend or is it a counter trend? Because if it's counter trend, it's past 10 a.m. I can't take it. But if it's going with the trend, then yeah, we can definitely take a look at it and see if it's valid. Because I got a down arrow on the M5. So yeah, downtrend. Not gonna take it. It's 10:30, so this one would have been valid back then, honestly, because this would have closed at 10 o'clock. This would have been a valid counter trend trade back then off of the M15. But I don't even remember if I got an arrow alert or not. I didn't get it. But that would have been cool. Bag, bounce, arrow, go for 20 pips. Probably would have caught it here. Bad thing about that, though, is if you look at the drawdown, I'm not saying for me, but I'm talking about for anybody else who was looking, you would have got in right here, right? You would have had this drawdown here, okay? So that's 248 pips drawdown on US 30. If you don't have an account that can handle that, then you wouldn't be able to take this trade. All right. So if you want to trade US 30, have an account that can handle that kind of drawdown. And then you might be okay with these kinds of trades. Okay. I just want to put that out there because I know, it looks like a great trade and it actually turned out to be really nice. And so what happened was you had 283 pips drawdown, right? And then when it went in your favor, about 133 pips. That's okay. Actually, let me go a little bit further. It went a little further than that. 163 pips in your favor, 175. So that's okay, but you probably had to deal with that first, before you can get down here. Usually is how it would have gone. So if your account can handle that pullback and then come down, sure, that's great. Okay. But just be wary when you're trading US 30. S&P probably did the same thing and would have been a little bit safer, but double check because I don't think it actually did. No, it didn't. S&P took off, right? So again, but you can handle an S&P versus a US 30. And what I mean by that is, look at drawdown. There's a massive wick right here, right? So you would have got in here, and let's say it went back against you. See, that's 40 pips against you to go up 40 pips. That's why S&P is a lot more nicer to roll with people. Okay? So your account can handle a 40 pip drawdown, maybe not 250 pips or something like that, or 280. Okay? So that's why I say S&P is a little bit more user friendly. Trader friendly, I mean.
Curtis just called out that gold is about to break. I don't know what time frame or whatnot.
Facts. If you can't afford, the Eden's is funny. If you can't get 1,000 and up on US 30, get funded. Absolutely. That's why I'm doing that. That's why I'm got mines. Gold is about to break. What time frame? Yeah, I noticed you didn't say the time frame. What's the time frame, brother? Let me know. Because are you talking about it's gonna break this resistance zone? That's great. I don't have a zone. I don't have an alert though. You know, if you're talking about this right here, that's beautiful. Got you. Okay, cool. That's beautiful. I mean, I like that. That's nice that it's gonna break, but not enough for me to get into an entry on it though. You know what I mean? I need to see something. I don't see like a railroad track formation. I don't see like an engulfing candle formation for me to want to get in. So if it breaks, that's awesome, but I would need to see something else in order for me to want to get into it. Euro NZD, somebody's talking about.
Yeah, I didn't check it yet. I'm pulling it open.
Okay, if you guys are talking about Euro NZD, or if you guys want a trade that you want us to look at, can you put it into the Q&A so we can catch it? Because I'm kind of just going into the chat now because there's nothing in the Q&A. But let me know. There you go. Okay, what about US 30? Because we just went over US 30. What about it? Let's see here. Okay, no problem. Yeah, we just went over it. So it was a valid counter trend trade that happened, you know, between this one right here. Yeah, this candle. That's the 9:45 candle closing at 10 o'clock. That would have been a valid counter trend trade, which it did. But remember, I said it went through that drawdown. So if you had that drawdown, you would have to deal with that. Okay. But then it eventually went in your favor. But that was a quick pip and dip. And then the take profit and stop loss, there is nothing recommended right now because the strategies of AIRO that are all there is in regards to currency pairs, forex pairs. Okay. So if you want to hop on these indices, it's kind of like for me, I'm kind of like, well, I'm gonna go for 100 pips on US 30, but my stop loss is the zone, you know. So it's not always a 2-to-1 risk to reward. It can actually be worse than that, you know. Look at that, 676 pips. Come on. So, you know, I mean, I'm very particular about what trades I get into. That's why I was on this money zone breakout thing. Okay. Yeah, well, if I get a chance, I'll explain the fractals in a sec. But that's why I was on a money zone breakout thing for the indices. Like, so S&P and NAS all broke out and they all did it right. They both did it right, right? But NAS did it by breaking a zone. S&P did it and I missed it and I was looking for it. I thought US 30 was going to do it, did it, and there was no zone. Okay, so if you want to trade the indices, actually, go by the strategy 4 of AIRO. All right, wait for market open at 9:30. You know, depending on your broker, it'll either say 16:30 or it'll say 15:30, right? If you know, based on GMT or whatever. But look for the 9:30 breakout. All right, long as the candle closed above the AIRO MA and above the zone, and you're following the trend, next candle, take your trade, which is what happened with S&P. I just missed it. I was looking at US 30 at the time. All right, and then I looked at NAS. So that's that. And
the Euro NZD.
Yeah.
Kind of missed it. It's at least it doesn't have enough room to the next zone there.
Oh, so was it a valid trade or no?
It was a second arrow.
Oh, okay.
It was a second arrow, so the move was pretty high up there. Now we're coming into a zone. It could slice right through that zone, that green zone, but we're pretty close to it. Let's put it that way.
Oh, yeah, I see
There's
it.
not enough room here before it hits the zone and starts potentially consolidating.
Mm-hmm.
So the real trade would have been that first arrow.
Yeah,
That would have
this is the real one.
that would have been a good trade right there.
Yeah, that was it. And this one came about 8:30, so it would have been prior to our call. So whoever would have had that, they would have had it. Okay, so AutoCAD is still playing around and went up about 8 pips, close to my take profit, and then decided to wick out on me.
Look at that. What's that? 2 pips?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Aye.
Come on, guys. This is interesting. All right, so back to my indices. Is oversold on the N15. Okay, cool. So what's the recommended pair to trade using AIRO? I kind of trade US 30 only. You know what? I get you, man. I mean, you could trade any pairs on AIRO, right? You could trade anything. It's just that does it follow strategy rules or whatever? So, like for instance, we just went over US 30, right? So again, US 30 is on an overall uptrend, right? Especially on the N15, right? And the way you see that is you zoom out, boom, we're on an uptrend. So I'm looking only for buys. Now, as you can see, look at this mess that US 30 just did, though. Excuse me. So it's all this ranging. Who's trading that? If you're trading it, you're scalping it, right? And you're not doing it off the N15. You're probably down on the lower time frame scalping it, right? But then it took this little trend up and then it's coming back down again. All right. So this down is fine because look at that 200 being a little magnet, pulling it down, right? And let it bounce off the 200 and turn around again and go back up again. All right. But US 30 is great on AIRO. Like I said, the strategy 4 breakout, man. I was waiting for that. It was beautiful yesterday. And so it just didn't play out on US 30 today. It played out on S&P 500 today and NASDAQ. But NASDAQ had a zone, so that's why I didn't take that. But S&P, it played out perfectly today. So it's just any asset you can trade on AIRO. It's just what session you're trading in too. You know, we had to call out on Euro NZD and we had to call out on Aussie Swiss. You know, those pairs don't typically move in this session. You know, I mean, look at what you get when U.S. session starts, you guys. You know, I'm wicking out. I'm getting like some consolidation. I got railroad tracks here, actually. You know, this is not like smooth move like you see here. Okay, this is why, because this is Asian session, London session. Why? Because it's an Asian session, London session pair. So you see beautiful moves like that most majority of the time. Now this is the previous day. This is Monday. This is a nice move, right? And it happened through New York session, but it started in the London. Okay, and then you got your arrows, right? So that's what I mean about pairs and what sessions they move in that we're looking for. So that's why I'm hesitant to take trades on pairs that don't necessarily move in this session, because I don't want, you know, something like this to happen where it's actually really going down, and then we try to get in, we see a down arrow, like, oh, we're still going down, and then it happens to pull back against us. You know what I mean? And then eventually make its way down hours later. So that's kind of why I'm hesitant to do that, and why I was hesitant to get into this trade here, because of what I see going on now. But any pair can actually, you know, move. It's just what session are you in? And honestly, I would be looking for Aussie Swiss maybe on an H1. Since I'm not in the session that it moves, put it on an H1 then and see what you see here. Okay? You see that it wicked out touching that AIRO MA. All right, retested, it came back down again. All right, and if you look on the H1, what are we on? We're on an uptrend. So if I get an up arrow on this one, it's a little bit more of a stronger indication for me to take that trade, because on an H1, money zone really don't matter, right? We're just going for a 50 pip take profit, 100 pip stop loss. Okay, so actually right now, Aussie Swiss probably looks real good for a buy off the H1. Off of the M15, you probably could get in there a little bit sooner, but you got to deal with some mess. I really don't want to deal with any mess. I'm going to try and get in with as little drawdown as possible. So I want to avoid the mess, and I'll just go into a higher time frame. All right.
That's some real good stuff that you just shared with us here. That was some really good notes.
Oh, thanks, Matt.
No, it's just the truth. You're sharing a couple of years worth of knowledge about changing, being aware of what currency pair you're trading at what time. It's such a key point that people often overlook.
Yeah.
You don't want to be sitting in a trade and be sitting in consolidation all the way to market changeover, and then you have to go through that 20 pips of spread at the end of the New York session, right? So if you have your stop loss and it's about 20 pips away from your current price, and that market turnover at 4:30 or 5:30 or whatever happens, you can get stopped out.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to be very aware of what time frames you're trading and what currencies you're trading during that time frame.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me look at okay, S&P, we're coming down now. What we doing here? Let me look at my H1. This is my H1 on S&P, so I need to move my high up here. Okay. So we already had our breakout today. That's fine. S&P might be doing this a little bit of a retracement. That's okay. Go down to the M5 and see what it's doing. This is what it looks like on the M5. All right, so it's bouncing. Look at all these beautiful bounces off of this AIRO MA, strengthening, as it goes up, strengthening that up move. So any sells, might not last very long, and that's okay. Because what we could do is, when there's moves like this, you can wait for the arrow to come down, signifying that it's pulling down, let it bounce, and then go back up again. It's only almost 11 o'clock, so we got plenty of time before the end of the New York session for S&P to make its little turnaround and go up again. Okay? It does that. And then NASDAQ, same thing. See, NASDAQ has now touched that resistance zone. All right? There's that resistance zone up there. It's touched it. And so it's going to do one of two things. It's either going to break it or come back down. Well, it's kind of losing strength right now. Look at the H1. It's kind of losing strength right now on the M15. But what it could do is come back down, bounce off of this AIRO MA, and then go back up again. Why? Because it's probably going to try and hit this H1 resistance zone. Okay? A lot of times, if I would have caught this, what is this, Sunday night, when this happened, would have been in some drawdown and then took it all the way to the thing. If I would have caught that up arrow alert, usually I take it to the zone. So I would have been like, zone is still take profit right now. So let us see what it does. But I'm looking at it and then see how it's all up in the zone now on the M15. So it probably will go there, bounce off, and come back out again. But it would hit TP for whoever took this trade from back there.
That's a beautiful trade. What's that worth?
Oh wow, that is.
Yeah, see, it's a oh wow trade. It's not even worth counting. It's that good.
Yeah. Let's see. This would have been your entry. Drawdown, max drawdown is like 992 pips.
Okay.
And then TP to the zone is 3,424 pips. So, just so y'all caught that, drawdown you would have experienced at some point is about almost 1,000 pips drawdown. Then you would have went to the zone or whatever. So like if you would have got in there 50 pip take profit, then you would have been in and out all in one candle. But remember, there is no recommended take profit and stop loss for indices on AIRO. This from the strategies. You could trade AIRO on whatever you want, but take profits and stop loss, that all depends on your skill and what you see. And me personally, I'm looking at zones, you know, zone to zone. Support zone is a nice stop loss here. So resistance zone is a nice take profit, right? That's what I'm looking at. Or I use my Fibonacci lines to help me determine what my stop loss and my take profit is. But just so you were clear, that's like 1,000 pips drawdown before it even goes, really in your favor. So be careful of those things.
Yeah, that's really powerful. That's really powerful. You could use the EMA as your stop loss if you wish. Just understand that price is going to break that EMA every once in a while, and you will get stopped out. There are better ways of managing your trade from your entry. With that trade, Jackie, just from for a teachable opportunity, you couldn't trade that with $1,000 account, could you? Even at a 0.01?
No.
So this is not a trade that someone can take if they. What would a person actually have to have in their trading account to take a 0.01? Probably like what, $5,000 or something like that. I know I'm getting you to make some real math.
Yeah, I would think, yeah, because as I'm looking at this, let me zoom in some more, because I want to look at that. No, 1,000 would have been what you call it, blown. There's my AIRO. There's my AIRO right here. It's right here. So yeah, if you got in, this would have been your area, right? And this is your drawdown. So 12,982 is your entry, and the lowest it got was actually more than 1,000 pips, like right there. It's 12,879. So that's $100, $110 drop. Yeah, 982 to 879, something like that. Almost like $110 drop. $110 drop is like 1,100 pips, right? So if you have $1,000 account on 0.01, your account's blown. So, and if you're trying to do an H1 trade, and honestly, it's if you try to do any trade off of any time frame, you just got to be aware. So yeah, get funded account or higher balance account. Just don't think just because you can do a 0.01 that you might be able to slide in here and hope that you can just catch pips in that very first candle. I mean, because if you did, you would have had very little drawdown that very first candle. But if you're used to holding it for longer periods of time, going from zone to zone, then you need to have a higher balance if you're going to hold that long. So, yeah, I'm as you can see, I'm on a challenge account, so I'm not on $1,000.
You gotta, yeah. No, you're using standard lots, so
yeah.
But I just wanted to set that expectation out there, guys, that you're not going to be taking swing trades on indices with $1,000 account.
Mm-hmm.
That was the whole point. So
somebody's saying that they're saying that a 0.01 at 1,000 pips is $100 on
Forex.
Yeah, it depends on what you're trading, and US 30 and NAS, it depends on your broker as well. I will say that too. Okay, because most of the brokers that I'm trading on, they're using futures calculations. Okay, so futures calculations, your margin gets sucked up and the pip per point, the dollar per pip is higher. If it's like on a CFD or a CFD leverage, then yeah, it might work, but you would need to test it and you need to confirm that with your broker. Okay, so that's another key thing for you guys. Just because it says S&P 500 and it's a 0.01, that 0.01 could actually mean $1. You got to double check it. Okay. Oh, you take swing trades on pound Swiss all the time? That's cool, Valdez. You like that pound Swiss? Let's see here. Let's see here. Let's see. It looks like Nate's in the chat. Somebody want to bring Nate up if he
Of course I
wants to.
will. Yeah,
You don't
yeah,
have to if he doesn't want to. He might not want to.
yeah.
But actually, if you do bring him up, oh Valdez, I love it that pound Swiss has been good to you, then, man. Let's look at this US 30 again, dropping down to that MA. That looks nice. Looking at this gold. So that GCAD made me mad, y'all. Now I'm still mad about that. And look at it. It's still kind of hovering where we would have been in. So it's like it did not do what it wanted to do. So that was interesting. And then Aussie CAD is still playing around. Still playing around. Might do what it needs to do. And then what was the other one? UJ. See how UJ stopped, kind of stuttered. Everything kind of stopped and stalled. So we'll see what's going on. Oh, wow. Well, Paul, we're going to talk afterwards, Paul, because, I think you did something I told you not to do, Paul. So, yeah, you know better. Let's see here. How to get funded. Oh, Edward, there's a bunch of different ways to do that, dear. There is, I love you too, Paul. Don't worry, Paul. Neo will make up for that GK, hopefully. Edward, the AIRO bag chat. Nate has a group about FTMO, actually, which is one of the funded providing firms. CAD Swiss. Let me take a look at that CAD Swiss, and I'll be able to talk more. I know everybody's like, CAD Swiss, who trades that? Psh, it's CAD pair. I threw it on here. Alrighty, so we got a bounce from a zone. I feel like there's a zone there, but here's that and that. Am I on a downtrend or an uptrend? I'm on an uptrend here, right? Yes, I am. Yep, uptrend. And I don't like this here. I don't like this here. But
no, because you got lower high, lower high, lower high. You got a big wedge here, guys. You're right in consolidation.
Yeah, look at that nastiness. This is the M5. I went down to the M5. Just to kind of see, because I'm not really familiar with this pair, but I am putting it on here because it's a CAD Swiss. It's a CAD pair. I thought it might have some movement going on, but this is the money zone for it to break out, and it's way up there. So this is, and look at this. I did draw this off of the H1. This might be a nice up move though, because you got this, like you said, this consolidation going on, and it needs to break above this AIRO MA, maybe swing that up into 200. So it's kind of just dragging along there. I'll wait. I'm not just going to jump into this. And you know what? Can I stop my screen and then somebody else share for a little bit?
Yeah.
I hear my grandson
You're
calling.
fine. You're
and
fine.
I'm sorry, you guys. If you can just watch that for me and handle that, I will be right back.
Yeah, I got it. We'll check some stuff out together. So this was that CAD Swiss setup there. So you got a nice strong uptrend on the CAD Swiss, but it's not one of those currency pairs. Check this out. So here's your wedge. So the higher probability is that it breaks to the upside and it breaks through this red zone. But before I would consider taking this for a long, I would rather have it break a trend line. I'm just gonna insert a trend line here. I'm not a fan of good old let's see here, lines. Put a little trend line here, make a little wedge. This thing, I don't do a lot on MetaTrader 4 there. Most of my analysis is all done on TradingView. So let's go draw this trend line. Let's try it again. There. So if it breaks this trend line, there's the potential that it goes up to this zone, the other trend line. So you got a nice little wedge formation here, guys. So right here. So kind of looking for a wedge breakout of this zone. I'm just going to check, see if we got another alert. If you guys see any other alerts while while I'm sharing my screen, let me know. That will be a great help here. Just going to check something else out right here. This was CAD Swiss. Going to open it up on this one. Yeah, you see you got a big zone of consolidation all the way to here. If it breaks this trend line, that's a good break. You see how we're getting into an area here. This is potentially good. If it does break, there's a high probability chance that it goes the length of this stick. So whatever direction it breaks, if it breaks to the upside, you could potentially have a pretty significant target. There's a couple ways you can do this. Actually, it's not that big after all. Only 15 pips to the upside. That'll be around that area. Let's go check what the what we have here. Oh, the Aussie Swiss buy. That was Aussie Swiss buy. Just a little trade I saw. Didn't call it out. Wasn't confident in it because but here we have 1, 2, 3 zones, and you got 2 zones. You got a big zone here. Wasn't going for a very big target. I just had a bounce, an arrow, going to take it. So that's that base. So see what goes on with that. Let's go see if we got any other setups. Yes. On my other account, this is just my demo account, but on my other account there, I've got, I took that GCAD, was still in it, small position size, nothing too big there. Here's a little picture of the good old future of what AIRO is going to look like. You'll have the option to, it's going to scan all the currency pairs that you wish to put in. It's going to have the different time frames. So here you got H4, Aussie Cat, Aussie Swiss has this is going to bring up your 4 hour. On the 4 hour, it's actually a down arrow, but I wasn't trading on the 4 hour. But you see, we're in a pretty strong uptrend. You got this really where it breaks that. There's a nice trend line here, break into the downside. Oh, that's an interesting question. What's the point of a stop loss if Jackie told us to exit GCAD? Well, Jackie's not providing financial advice. She's saying that she exited GCAD, right? I didn't exit GCAD. You're going to want to, in any trade you take, you're going to want to have your stop loss set. Here, I actually didn't set this one up on my demo though, but beyond that, yeah, you're going to want to have your stop loss set. because Jackie's not always going to be there to tell you exit the trade or whatnot. Because you're going to want to trade outside of these sessions as well, right? Oh, what? Sorry, Isaiah. So, are you asking why she exited the trade if stop loss wasn't hit? If that's the
Hello.
question. Hey, what's up? Great timing. We just had a question around, and someone said, "Well, what's the point of having a stop loss if Jackie told us to exit the trade?" I said, "Well, Jackie's not always going to tell you to exit a trade." But the stop loss was because she saw the picture change for what she was trading, right? You didn't like the picture that you saw.
Yeah. I exited the trade because I wanted to exit the trade because I didn't like what I saw. Exactly. I saw GCAD. We took it as a bank induction because that's what it was at the time. And then it changed. It turned into a counter trend trade. Now, the bank induction, 20 pip take profit, 40 pip stop loss. Yeah, it didn't come anywhere near that stop loss, and that's fine. And it probably will turn around and maybe go in our favor. That's also possibly true. However, because the way we took the trade changed, meaning if you go back and look at the chart, you don't see a resistance zone now, right? So if you don't see a resistance zone, how the only people that know that we took that as a bank induction is us here in this room. So because of that, and to someone else, it will look like, oh, that was a counter trend trade, strategy 6. You should have just caught your 20 pips as a counter and then get out, right? But we didn't do that. So with that thought process in place, because the trade now looks different on the chart, that to me invalidates my original entry trade. And I now need to just wait for a regular bag entry, even though my stop loss didn't get hit. And that's fine, because typically sometimes I normally just like, okay, well, the stop loss don't get hit, it might turn around in my favor and we can go. But because it had changed, price moved differently than the way it was originally going for, I needed to now change my thought process on that trade. That's why I did that. You can still stay in that trade if you want to and hang out. I mean, and it might eventually come in, but like what Matt said earlier, is that you might get a down entry alert on bag on GCAD, and then you could go for 20 pips probably there in a lot more safer way and in a better entry because you're still following the trend too, right? So that's the only reason why I did that. That's the only reason, because it changed on the chart, and I don't like it when it changes.
No, and you're not married to any one setup, right? Like it's not like you're taking your vows to it and saying, "All right, this has to go," or I'm gonna go until stop loss. If you see that the picture changes, then there's no problem getting out and take what'd you get out there, like 6 pips loss or whatever.
Yeah, I think so. It was like 6 or 7 pips. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Picture change. It's better to take 6 pip loss than a 40 pip loss.
Yeah, that's all it was.
So that's no big deal, guys.
I like Sherelle talking in the chat here. She uses the different EMAs for her trades. That's nice. I like the additional confluence confirmations that you're doing. Good deal. 50. Oh, sorry. My bad. He's a guy. Sorry. I saw the name Sherelle. Hopefully I said that name right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Please, no offense. I didn't mean it. Go for a sell if the 50 is above. Yeah, I know a lot of people use the 50 EMA as a upper down, so that's pretty cool. But I can go over the questions, Matt, while you're still sharing on your screen.
Yeah. Well, there's not a whole lot to share right now. I'm just gonna go look for some more potential trade setups. But they were wondering why I entered Aussie Swiss. It's on my demo account. I'm just experimenting. It's my lab. My demo is my lab. So I didn't take that on my live account. I'm trying to see what would happen if I took it based on specific criteria. So don't. It is a valid bag entry in the trend and stuff. I'm just trying to explore. It's a lab.
Oh, interesting.
A lot of people like your feedback on that question there. It's good. You bring so much value when you explain away why you got out of the trade. So fractals, why are you using them? Because it just means prices stop doing what it was doing, and it's gonna either go in another direction.
Yes, yeah.
It's like a pause, kind of like all right, breathe, and then we're gonna go in a different. It's just an additional confirmation.
Yeah, I'm using them.
You taught me about those. I remember. I'm like, what are those little arrows on your chart? And you're like, well, just go Google it. I'm like, all right, I'll go Google it. And then, so I Googled it, and in about, I don't know, I think it was 2 minutes, I came back to you and I said, hey, these are really cool. I'm going to start using them. Thank you.
Hi, you're funny. Yeah, well, thank you. Well, you taught me a lot too, but yeah, that's how I'm using them. But I like them off of the zone though, so I'm kind of still mad at GCAD right now. So I'm kind of looking at what I can catch off of a zone. And now GCAD wants to go in our favor. See, man. Man. And by the way, because we were in AussieCAD, in the other direction. Now AussieCAD is going in the drawdown. So this quite well too. So
Kanoa. What's up, brother?
Look at that.
GU potential bag on the 5, potential strategy 9 on the 15.
Go for it, man. You got it, bet.
Let's just check this out. What do we got? I don't have the I don't have that arrow though to confirm, but we're in a downtrend, guys. Very strong downtrend. There's a consolidation area here. You might have some little wedge action going on. If it breaks this, oh, actually, you're breaking the wedge right now. Check this out. Hey, look what I'm doing. I'm using TradingView or
I see it.
MT4. Ooh, that's red.
Oh, you're on NZDCAD. They said GU.
Oh, what? Oh, Kanoa did, right?
Yeah.
Am I on the wrong pair?
You're on the wrong pair.
I clicked on it. My bad. Sorry, gentlemen, ladies.
It's cool beans.
Where were we at? GU. Oh, look at that. It's the one right on top. Is that a down arrow? What's this?
He said M5. You on the M5? Yeah, you're on the M5.
Yeah, I see the wedge.
Possible. Oh, it could be setting up, maybe. You don't have your 200 on there. So he was looking at potential strat 9.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. That's what he was looking for.
Okay. What else, Jackie?
I'm just looking. Somebody saying US 30's going up big. Is it? I got to go down to the M1 and I'll see.
Yeah, if you got another setup, you can share your screen.
I'm going to check first before I see it.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Bounced off the M15. Yeah, there we go. M1 going up. I don't like it on the M1. Give me an M5 going up and we'll wait. That's what I'll look for. I don't trust the M1.
You don't trust the M1, eh?
I don't trust the M1. Even though I used it yesterday, but it was really strong indications. And so, like, if anybody's looking at US 30 on the M1 right now, you're getting like a bearish engulfing candle. So that's why I don't trust the M1. Like, no, thank you. I'll wait.
I've got my little monkey on my lap here, so you might see some random button pressing.
Oh, GCAD moving heavy. Good, good. So that's nice. Now that GCAD is moving, good. So let me know if it hits the 20 pips, I think. Yeah.
So here, Kanoa, that's your that's the wedge that I saw when you pulled it up here. So you could potentially take it to whatever side it breaks. If it looks like it could be down, because here's your higher high, and here you got a lower high. So overall, you could see it come down. That would be actually a really nice target.
He said look at it on the M15. Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's that same story. Look at that. That's interesting.
Yeah. And Aussie Cat, yeah, I don't like it. Yeah, I'm not liking it either, Sherelle.
Funded. How do you get a funded account? Edward was asking that.
I was just going to tell him. Yeah, I was just going to answer him and then direct to more towards the AIRO bag chat.
The difference with the pairs with the .pro, that's based on your broker. So you can have like .pro, .variable, VAR, just a regular feed. The .pro that I'm using has a tighter spread. So I'd rather have a tighter spread, pay a little bit more in commissions. Just over the last 4 years, I've found that I'd rather play that game. Tighter spread's always generally going to be better. US 30, 200 moving average with a wick. Did you check that out?
Yeah, it's not time yet, y'all.
we're just holding, right? We're holding.
Not time yet. Look at it on the M5.
5 AIRO on GCAD. Let's go check it out.
M5 AIRO going down on GCAD, probably.
Yep. Yeah. Yep.
Now it's coming in our favor. Yep.
Now we're talking.
Yeah, but now that means Aussie CAD's not going to be in our favor.
Yep. And they work in they work against each other, unfortunately. But remember what we were saying? Like, it's okay to exit a trade and look for another setup in the opposite direction. Like, you're not married to that original setup. It's okay to change your mind based on what you see. Because this was a really nice bank induction. It had everything going for it. So, but there was originally a zone here. There was a zone up here. And when it broke, Jackie's like,
Hey guys, let me jump in on that bank induction.
Oh, go ahead.
Everyone thinks that you just because you have an up arrow into a support zone or down arrow into up arrow into resistance or down arrow into support is a bank induction. You have to take it in the cycle of the market maker cycle. You can't just take every up arrow into a resistance, every down arrow into support. That's not how it works. That's not the way it was taught. If you don't follow the rules and you continue to lose, it's because you're not following the rules. I've tried to address that multiple times, but people are going to do what they want to do. I just want to bring that up. If you cannot identify the market maker cycle, do not take the trade. Simple as that. Simple as that.
Makes sense.
That's why it came out after strategy number 9, so that you could understand the market maker cycle. Therefore, you could make it, you understand the bank induction was just an opposite move of the actual market maker cycle. If you cannot identify it, don't take the trade. And if you do take the trade and it's outside the market maker cycle and you lose, like what happened the other night when I addressed that in the group, they couldn't identify it because there was no market maker cycle. Got to follow the rules.
That's true. Good point.
That's a great point there, boss.
Well then.
What else we got?
I didn't hear that. What did you say, Paul? I'm looking at what Paul said. I guess
What
you're
is
still talking about GCAD. Why did we get the down arrow on GCAD before I did? Oh, that could just be a broker thing with the candlesticks. Oh, Chris is asking about the lot size calculator.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's been sent out to corporate for a little while. We've sent it to them and we're still waiting to find out what they're going to do with it. We can just put it out there. You know, it's been done for a couple weeks now, so.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I was on mute. I was agreeing with you. I was like, oh, okay,
Oh
cool.
yeah, yeah. So it is what it is right now. I'll follow up with corporate and see what they decided. I know there was talk about putting it in the back office, and then there was talk about putting it on a Google Drive, and then in a couple spots. So we'll just follow up. People are asking about it, so it's going to bring a lot of validity and just help you to enter the trade properly. You know, Aussie Swiss as a currency pair has a different value per pip on a standard lot than, say, NZD GBP or GBP NZD. And some currency pairs are actually worth 30% more than your regular USD pair. So, for example, I don't know them all off the top of my head, but I know there's one of the NZD pairs that if you risk a certain value, then you're under risking and you're not going to make your percentage gain. And there's a certain GBP pair that if you risk you do your position sizing based on the price of a US pair, you're going to be over risking and over leveraging your account.
I'm looking at US 30 as well. It bounced off a support zone. It ain't time yet though, because then it formed another fractal. It's going to come back down to that support and turn around. So you still got to wait on that. And Aussie CAD, I don't like Aussie CAD because now the trend color changed. So let's see. Those are just my thoughts though. I'm just looking. I'm kind of mad I missed that S&P breakout still. Other than that though,
yeah, you got UJ on the 5, AIRO. Let's see what the overall trend direction is. Yeah, so we're up.
Oh, Curtis put out a compounding calculator.
Yeah, that's just the compounding calculator. This would be a position size calculator based on the value of the currencies. It's actually pretty math intensive. So it wouldn't be that. There's a couple tools you can go out there and find. This is just making it a lot easier. Excel sheet based. You can put your account size and your risk that you want to put in the trade. It's I think it'll help people.
Is that what John was talking about for you, Jay?
Yeah, he was talking about this setup here. So, but he was saying it might transfer over into the 15. So, from a 5-minute alert into the 15.
Yep, I see what he's talking about.
My 7-month-old is ripping my headset off my ears. So maybe you can you want to share your screen?
Sure.
And I can try and manage this monkey.
Yeah.
Cool.
Gosh, I was on mute again. Sorry about that.
No, he's looking at me with his big blue eyes and driving me crazy.
KB said he still didn't get an AIRO, so it definitely might be just something to do with candles, I guess. I'm not sure, because there's sometimes people give zones that I don't have, or I still have zones that they don't have. So you already answered about UJ, I'm understanding. And then David says you use the 20 to 50 and the 200 moving average. Really, we look for the 50 and the 20 to cross, right? In regards to what, David?
Yeah, because that's not taught. It's only the 200 moving average that's taught in conjunction with the AIRO moving average.
Mm.
There's a lot of strategies out there with the 20, 50, and 200. Some people add the 400. There's a lot of different exponential moving averages that people can use. I myself love to use the 513.62 cross as a indication of trend continuation or reversal. So there's a lot of them. Looking for an M formation on pound Kiwi on the 15, but pound Kiwi, we're almost at the end of that money zone, eh?
Yeah, I don't have pound Kiwi on here since that's not a pair that would move as much, I don't think, but we could take a look at it. I have other things on here though. This thing has grown since today.
Hey guys, what's the pound Kiwi? Just ask for somebody, and I know what a Kiwi is.
Oh, New Zealand dollar. Oh, duh, and I'm putting up Swiss, duh. New Zealand dollar. Wrong one. Thank you for that. There it is, New Zealand dollar. Here it is. So who runs that one? M15. Somebody keep an eye on US 30 for me. Darnell's probably doing that. Aussie Cat is a sell. Okay. Yeah. Probably time to get out. And this was a downtrend, correct?
Yeah, it was.
All right. Boom. Just get in there on it. I don't have a zone though.
So you got no bounce.
No, but I am going to close this trade. I don't have a bounce though. I can't take that trade from what I see on my screen. You got a bounce on yours, Matt?
Let me go check that out for GCAD. GCAD?
Yeah.
Is that it?
No, that was Aussie Cat.
Oh, Aussie Cat. Okay, hold on.
Yeah. I don't have a bounce on my zone.
No, I got no zone either. But that zone is at the same place as yours was. Probably like looks like 20 pips above where that high is. Yeah, right. We have the zone at the same area, even though we're on different brokers. So.
Oh, so somebody has a zone there?
Yeah, someone. Chris has a zone there.
Oh, okay.
Which could
Chris.
make sense, you know. If there's a zone there, then hey.
Yeah.
Trade what you see, right?
Yeah, trade what you see. I don't have a zone on mine, but if I did, yeah, bounce arrow go.
I would be there. I would be in there as well if I had a zone.
Like really? Well, it's only 10 pips. It's not 20.
No,
and it's
so
not. Well, no, it's not even 15. You know, so I probably wouldn't have taken that trade. But you know, trade what you see, right? But GBP and ZD, where's it at? I have it down here, pound Kiwi. And what did they ask about pound Kiwi? Because it's all up in a zone right now. So what?
They're looking for an M formation, a potential M setup for a sell. So
what's the trend? 1, 2, 3.
Ooh.
1, 2, 3, 4. And even though I am still learning about my M's and W's and practicing, hold on, let me count. Wait a minute. This looks like 2 zones right here.
Yeah, it is. I would consider that too, because
3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't have a what's it called?
What?
Confirmed trend. There you go. Confirmed trend of the time frame. But my understanding from learning about the videos is that you need to be in a downtrend for the M to be forming and anchored for it to take place. I don't see a confirmed downtrend on the M15, so that's just my thought though on that. Anybody else can chime in on it. But I can see what you're talking about, though. Do 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 do. 1, 2, 3. I can see it. What you're referring to. But it has to do with anchoring, is my understanding, and then also downtrend overall. But look for that. It's nice that it's at that 200 though, and hanging around in that zone. That would be cool. And then letting it come down again. But it looks like if you could look at these zones, they're very close together. How many pips is it between each zone? About 50 pips. So if they were matching, like they are, you can go in any way, is what my understanding was on that too.
Yeah, you want a 50 pip range between the two zones to be able to take it. And my understanding of that is to take a smaller take profit.
Sherelle is saying he's in profit on GCAD. Yay! Good deal. So let me know when if you hit 20 pips on that, by the way, Sherelle. Just let me know. And somebody has a zone. Okay, cool. Chris said that. Oh, this is another calculator that David put. Okay, then we'll give you the numbers you're looking for. Well, thank you, David. Can you put that in the main chat for us? That people can take a look at that. That'd be great. Chris is saying I have 4 red and 1 green. Yeah, zones and candlesticks are going to be different across brokers. Oh, thank you, David. I appreciate that. So it's just what you see. Trade what you see, like what Matt has said. UJ is running, still no arrow on the M15, and it's trying to push. Okay. Thank you for UJ. We was going up on UJ earlier, correct? If I remember correctly. Oh yeah, it pushed. And so interesting push. I'm sorry, I don't mean to zoom out all the way like that. I was trying to identify the cycle. That's what I was looking for, as what Nate just said. I'll look at that later.
I'm gonna step away for like
Sure.
about 3 minutes or so. I'm gonna put this little monkey upstairs.
No problem. Right.
I'll be able to focus more in a sec.
Deal, Jeff. Jeff said his take profit on GCAD. Yay! Yeah, John, I'll wait for it. But you already in. Good deal, John. Good deal. On USD JPY and GBP JPY. AIRO retrace entry maybe? I don't know. Let's take a look. Oh, I have GBP and ZD here twice. I didn't mean to do that. And G Swift, no. And Euro and ZD, no. I'll look at GBP JPY. I mean GBP JPY. And there you go. Somebody's up in GCAD. Good. Sherelle, let me know when you hit. By the way, I'm curious as to when you hit. And where are we with? You said, what was that pair again? GBP JPY. That's what it was. Okay. That, and GBP JPY. Off the M15. Okay, more green than red. And how many pips to the zone? Did that pull back already? Yeah, it did. It's about 17 pips to the zone. We're already in another candle. I wouldn't necessarily take this trade right now. kind of chasing it, but I don't know. I don't like that for too much. Why is it stalling right there? Well, it got room, so maybe it just needs to kind of push up from this right here and then go in. So maybe that is still viable. Matter of fact, if you do wait till it comes down here and touches the MA, it might give you that 20 pips to the zone. So you could probably just wait and see what it does. If it kind of comes down here and goes, yeah, that's 20 pips. Let it retrace a little bit and then let it turn around and then hop back in. Let's see. So thank you for that, Josh. I'm gonna hold that on to that. Oh, CAD, yeah. Already, that was following the trend, but it was very close to the zone at the time. Let me see. Go back now. Did it clear that zone, or is it just still like, oh, it kind of pulled back? So it might be doing the same thing even on there. It's probably pulling back. It might give you a better entry. You know, here's what it looks like on the M5. So if it does pull back, it might give you a better entry so you can get 20 pips. But it is still, and plus I can't take it because I don't have a zone here to bounce from. So that's why I can't take it as a bag entry. And let's see. Thank you, Curtis, for that. And we're going to take a look at gold so you don't get in. Oh, I don't know if anything happened with the meeting, Valdez. I'm sorry you got bumped out, but everything's still going. Let's take a look at what's going on with gold. Oh, US 500 as a sell. That's S&P. That's the sell that it's talking about. Now we're on an uptrend. Right? Yeah, we should still be on an uptrend because there's no zones being broken. But yeah, uptrend. Here's that. It's just pulling back now from the little big move that it did this morning. And then it'll probably turn around and come back up. Now, again, it's 11:40, so we're about 20 minutes left in this. So depending on how much momentum this thing has, but it would be nice if it pulled down and hit the support zone, turned around and gave you an up arrow going up again. But it could be, it could do that, or it could just kind of break down and touch this 200, turn around, give you an up arrow again. So one or two things can happen. I'm looking at that on the M5. If you look at it more on the M15, you can actually see a little bit clearer on what it's doing. See how it's kind of touching the arrow MA here. And it would be, again, nice if it touches this zone and then turn around again. So that's kind of what I'm looking at there. And then somebody asked about gold. So looking at gold. Now, when we talked about gold earlier, we saw all that ranging that gold was doing, right? And you can kind of see it right here. Just kind of going up and down, up and down. And on gold, on the M5, this is what it looks like. Okay, so if you're looking at the M5 and you zoom out, you see 3 green, no resistance, so you're on an uptrend, right? So what you could probably be doing, oops, I didn't mean to zoom in that far, but then what you could do is look at it and going back up again and probably catch it on an up arrow going back up because you got kind of a bounce. That don't even look like it's touching that zone for me. So I'm kind of curious, is anybody having price touching their zone on the M5? Because mine doesn't look like it is. I'm just kind of curious about that. But on the M1, I am. So it could be just maybe my viewing. But that is gold. So we can be looking for a buy on gold here soon. So hopefully that answered that question. And then on overall, though, I'm on the H1. You know, as it's coming down and it might touch this 200 EMA and then turn around and go back up again. Remember, on the H1, gold is on a downtrend overall. All right, so it's on a downtrend overall. And I drew my fib, and you can see it's pulled back, and it's hovering around that 61.8, and then it might come back down again. So honestly, maybe on the M5, you could be looking for an up arrow alert to give you like a quick scalp. But on the H1, excuse me, not M1, on the H1, I'm kind of looking for a down arrow alert very similar to this to help me take it to the zone. That's kind of what I'm looking for on gold myself. All right. So, and that's just the difference of depending on what time frame you're trading, you know, the direction of your trade is going to differ. So I clearly just told y'all I could be looking for a scalp as a buy on the M5, but I'm literally looking for a down on a H1, you know? So you can't hear anything? Can anybody else hear me? Oh, okay. Everybody else can. Okay, so it's just something there. Thank you, guys. All righty. Thank you. I appreciate that loud and clear. Hope I'm not too loud, you guys. Well, I just feel like, hey, let me know what you guys did with the GCAD. All right. So let me know how you guys did with that, because I know a couple of people said they hit TP. So that's nice. I'm proud of you guys. That little stutter up there, though, that got me. So, I mean, gotta work on that. Aussie CAD, though, just melted and it kind of pulled back a little bit, but I don't think it's going to come back up here. But you can see that. And again, it's on a downtrend, so that down pressure is there. And let's see. Oh, thank you, David. I appreciate that. I'm still mad. Oh, you hit GCAD as well? Okay, good. All right, cool. So, so I guess you can kind of say took the trade a little early and you got in, but got to work on that counter trend stuff. And okay, good. Thank you, guys. Now, the other thing is what I'm looking for is, let me go back to my US 30. So here's US 30 on the M5 and how it's kind of hovering around this support zone, right? And it's low. So this is what I'm looking for because I'm thinking it's going to happen. I have not had my 930 breakout. I haven't had that yet on US 30. I've had this breakout here. This is not 930. This is still London session right here. Okay. And somebody asked about my zone. So my zone starts here. 08 is the beginning of London session for me. 0800, and then it ends here. All right. So somebody had asked that way earlier, so I'm sorry I never got back to you on that. But here's the thing. This is my US 30 for today, and this is what I'm waiting for. And I'm kind of disappointed it didn't happen earlier, but this breakout of this money zone happened here. Okay. This candle closed above the money zone, it closed above the MA. Well, I guess you can kind of consider that here too, but this was a stronger move because if you would have got in here, you would have had all that pullback. But here's the thing. This happens in New York session as well. That's what I was studying and seeing, and we just saw it was NAS and S&P, but US 30 didn't do it. All right, so that tells me US 30 is going to do it. Just don't know when. So we're now in the back end of New York session here, this 930 pull and all that. So this bounce down to this support zone is going to be great. You can get an up arrow alert for sure. See how close the MA is to price? So you get an up arrow alert coming up, and it's going to be, you know, take your trade going up, right? Because you're going to have a bounce. The other thing, though, is that 200 EMA is pulling it as well. So what will be great is if it keeps going up with super momentum, crossing it up again. And then take it past this money zone, additional momentum, taking it to the zone. That's what I'm ultimately looking for today on US 30. It's just taking forever for it to actually make it come to fruition. All right. If it doesn't, then it just means it had one breakout for today. But I've been consistently seeing breakouts after 930 on these indices. So that is the strategy that I started using, was the 930 breakout session. Strat 4 of AIRO after 930 stop market. And I feel bad because I couldn't show y'all McDonald's, even though Darnell had put out McDonald's earlier, but that's because I'm on a different broker this time. I'm on a challenge account. So that's why I can't do McDonald's. But That's what I'm looking for US 30.
Hey, Jackie.
And yes, CB.
So one of my good friends and new traders, Shelly, just pointed out to take a look at the odd USD. The air we already looks, it's already tradable on the M5, and the M15 is got an interesting information that we might see an arrow soon. But both the 5-minute and 15-minute look pretty decent. The 15-minute, it's a little close to the support. It might be more of a 15 pip trade, but it's kind of setting up nice.
I see it. Downtrend on the M15. Good deal. Nice. So at noon then is what I'm anticipating at the close of this candle. Is that what we're talking about?
Yep, exactly. And click over to the 5 too, because there's nothing in the way.
Yes.
The 5 already has an arrow.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
Just something to look at as we're ending up the call here.
Oh, I see that arrow MA and the 200 are about to cross again.
Yep.
You guys see that? You probably can't see that because of my little silly Fibonacci
we can
lines.
see it.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's actually very good. Good call out, Miss Shelley. Thank you for that. Yes, Deborah, that's exactly what they're talking about. Okay. I'm just going to leave it on the M15 just to get that alert. But I'm curious as to when this cross is actually going to happen. That's nice too.
Shelly was even saying, Jackie, that on the 15 you have an M formation there that you could theoretically take without the arrow.
Yes, I hear that. I see that. When the candle closes.
Yep.
Good deal. Thank you, Shelly. So yes, Aussie, USD, information trade in play. Thank you, CB. CB, what's going on the crypto, buddy?
Not a lot. It is just sticky, ranging, not doing anything. I'm even looking for fractal stuff. There's the Ethereum has been sitting in just no man's land, and Bitcoin has gotten squeezed up into two zones over the last, since the call's been going. It's just kind of ugly right now, waiting for something to break out.
Right. I was looking at, when you mentioned fractals, I was looking at the fractal thing, see if anything was going. And
look at that fractal right there, right?
Yeah, it would have been
a good example.
Yeah, this one, no, this one's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's great. This one,
yeah. Hey, pip and dip, man. It works.
That's true. Pip and dip. You're right. I was looking because GU was really good about doing those, so I thought I was going to be able to see one on GU, but looks like that's going to be a no go. But also, you guys see that this is a strategy for a breakout too, though? Do you see that?
Yep.
Okay. I don't know if everybody else caught that, but this is strat 4. Remember, I marked off the zone for each and every one. Excuse me. No, it's not. Sorry, that's going up. This is going down. My bad. I thought that was a high. It's the low. This is strat 4 over here. Going. So this is the breakout. First candle that broke below the zone, and then breakout to the zone. So that was GPP, but that happened in London session. I have not seen those happen on currency pairs twice. So those are something to look at. US 30 looks good for buy now. Does it? Let me see. Double bottom just happened. Same set as Nas 100 did around 5 a.m. this morning. Look at you calling out with the patterns. Oh, this is what you're talking about? Maybe. On M5 you said? I didn't catch that. I think he said M5. I can see what you're talking about, though. And it would be nice, especially as this one is coming off of that support again. And what happened? I'm seeing what GCAD go to the next zone so I can hold. Good deal. Another down arrow alert on the M5. Double confirmation. Better risk to reward on GCAD. Oh, you probably did get that down there on the info. Oh. Okay, I see it, but I would do it off of the M15, but you got this cross here, so that's some nice momentum getting ready to happen. Steering, pushing it down, so yes, GCAD. Okay, thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, GCAD looking pretty good for that push down to the zone. We got 7 minutes left. I'm still looking at my US 30 setup, so I could be getting my M5 buy, which would be nice. We got a nice push here.
You won't touch that until you get an arrow, right, Jackie?
I'm not touching it till I get an arrow now.
Yeah. just confirming, especially with US 30. US 30 is like Bitcoin. It's scary, man.
Yeah. Just wait till I get an arrow. Even though you have the double bottom and all that stuff, candle patterns are great additional confirmations, but I would rather just wait for an arrow alert, honestly, just to be on the safer side. And then let me see what S&P is doing. Similar. Okay. What are we on M5? Okay, bouncing off of this zone here, and I already got a down arrow, so I'll probably get an up one going up. That'll be cool. And NASDAQ. So NASDAQ has been pulling back here. Here's the M5. Oops, sorry.
Hey, Jackie, sorry, I'm back now.
Hey, Matt, no problem. We're getting ready to sign off anyway. I'm just looking at last minute stuff.
Oh,
God.
Oh, sorry, don't mean to interrupt. Were you deep into something, or?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, okay, because I got, remember that CAD Swiss that we looked at with the wedge? It finally broke out to the top side.
Sorry, I was on mute again. My bad.
Yeah.
Oh, finally broke out to the top side. Oh, okay,
Yeah.
right here. Okay.
Yeah. You see where your 3 fractals are? You know, bang, 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 bang.
Oh, and right here, the trend line thing? Okay.
Exactly. And then that's your break to the top. So now we're into the red zone. So whoever took that at the break of that trend line would have made 10 pips.
Okay. 10 pips.
Yes, Josh, I am Canadian.
Somebody's asking which lines have to cross. I'm not sure what you're referring to, dear.
The EMAs?
Are you talking about the EMAs? Because the crossing of EMAs is discussed in strategy 9. The AIRO and the 200. Those are discussed in strategy 9, if that's what you're referring to.
I don't know what other lines they could be referring to, though, so that's my best guess.
Yeah. Well, if anybody doesn't have anything else they want to discuss or talk about, I don't really have anything else except for what I'm looking for. I am now, though, since it's noon, the only thing I'm going to leave on the M5 is my indices. And these M15 ones, I'm probably going to switch over to the H1 and start trying to catch some swings. So there I have that's what I'm going to do. Look for my fractal swings. That's what I'm actually looking for now, since I'm getting towards the end of the money zone. Just so you guys know, like Aussie CAD, like, you know, it didn't work in my favor earlier. So what I'm going to do is, here's my downtrend off of my fib. It pulled back to 23.6, not really a valid retracement in my instance. So look at that. Looks like an M right there, right? And then V, all right, come back down and then have it come back up again. And I'll try and catch it on the retracement going back. That's what I'm going to do. And utilize my fractal to do so. And that 200 EMA as a magnet. That's what I'm going to do. So that's an instance on Aussie CAD. And that's actually what I'm going to do for everything now. Towards the end of the money zone, I switch from the M15 and put it on the H1. And I typically like the H1 because I can stay and hold trades longer. Plus, if you're following the trend, that's 50 pips. You know, take profit, 100 pip stop loss. Easy following it. So I'm going to throw that on there and leave for the H1s and see when those suckers jump out there so I can catch my 50 pips.
I love it. I love it, Jackie. It's so critical to know and trade what you're trading, right? Just like, and if people are newer, please stick to the 15-minute and stick to the pairs that move really good at the time that you're trading, and get your volume of trades, right? Then take the trades in demo and practice and practice and practice, and then just go with it. But it doesn't come overnight.
Right. Yep.
And Jackie, just so much value today. Really, really appreciate being on the call.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm
took,
still mad about my
some
trade.
notes. Well, you know what? You learned something, right? We learned something. And if we're learning, then we're not losing.
I don't. That's true. You're so sweet, Matt. Everybody knows I'm such a competitive person. I hate to lose. so now I'm probably gonna go scalp and get my stuff back. But anyway, guys. And when I mean scalp, I'm talking about the M5 trade, by the way. And before we go, David's asking. He says he really likes drawing wedges. So hey, kindred spirit, Matt. And is that Hawkeye training as well advanced? Matt, I'll let you speak on that since that's the call you guys are on.
Not, I wouldn't say advanced, but we do get into some more technical analysis. So we use AIRO, and then we sometimes add different layers to it to stay in the trade longer or to minimize our risk in the trade. And that's, well, like, we can shrink our stop loss depending on the wedge situation or whatnot. So maybe I wouldn't say it's advanced. I would just say it's different, and it's just a different way of looking at AIRO. But yeah, we're using AIRO as the baseline for our trade setups. We're just adding another layer to it. I don't know if that's it's probably the best I could explain the session.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Matt. I appreciate that. I was just going through the last Q&As. Everything's said, talked about. You could. There's if you go to the Auvoria Prime website, somebody's asking about Neo. If you go to the Auvoria Prime website, they have something called the Marketplace tab. And in that tab, it has different products, and it has like a whole thing you talk about Neo right there for you. And that's what, but it's out right now if you guys wanted to look at that. I use Neo in addition to AIRO. So, trying to make sure I diversify strategies as best as possible till that AIRO EA comes out. Just gonna throw that out there. All right. So anyway, I'm going to stop sharing because I ain't trying to get in trouble with Nate. And I will talk to you guys later. Thank you, CB. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, everybody. And I'll be on next Tuesday.